The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
So it's Tuesday, right?
Tuesdays are my favorite days.
That means Wednesday's coming.
Excuse me, I must get up now.
Didn't realize I was on, but I guess I am.
Looking at some cloud cover over on Nacogdoches Cam, even a bee there that was popping up on the camera. It's a pretty great day to be outside. Oh, goodness gracious.
Reporting inside Globe Life Fart. Globe Life Fart. All right, take two.
We were in the middle of our tournament when my friend John said he found a body in the bushes over there. I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because the dude's body was missing a head. So my friend decided to try and use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't. And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter.
Well, we might as well get this over with.
Yep, let's go.
Showtime!
Do you people believe in signs, omens, things like that?
Not strongly, but a little bit.
Yeah,
I always feel weird talking to, I was telling you a little bit about our new dog and a lot of weird signs surrounding it. It's one of those things when you're telling the story, you're never sure if it's sounding stupid because it means something to you and the person listening might be going, all right, dude, you're stretching a little bit.
Sure.
I'll tell you guys, you tell me if this is dumb or not. So we had to put down our dog. We had a dog that lived way longer than we thought he would. We knew it was coming, but it was very sudden when it happened. We thought we had a little more time, and it was sad. It sucked. I forgot how bad it sucked because it's been a long time since we had to do that.
Putting the old pooch to sleep. Yeah, not a lot of laughs for most people.
No, I would say 0 laughs. And so I had told my wife, I'm like, we have, she's a Great Dane freak. Like, my phone will blow up, and it's Great Dane videos, Great Dane that. She's an absolute freak for Great Danes.
She's also 0 laughs.
Well, we laugh at her a lot.
We laugh at her.
Quite a bit at her expense.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I said, let's just, we got the one dog. Let's just take our time, And she's like, all right, we'll wait until it's the perfect situation. We have a dog named Rocky. She wanted to, whatever the next Dane wanted to name it Apollo, for Rocky and Apollo from the movies. Right?
Oh, a theme.
So she has a Great Dane dealer, a.k.a. a woman who works at a Great Dane rescue, and she's always telling my wife, ooh, check out this one. And she sends her one, it's like, hey, we got this dog, just got surrendered by a family. They were going through a divorce. Neither side wants it. His name is Apollo, right? And it was like, okay, that's a little odd.
Mm-hmm.
So we drive to Wisconsin to pick it up. We're crossing the bridge into Wisconsin, and then Survivors, why can't I think of the...
Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger comes on, a theme from Rocky, right?
Dude.
Right.
And
that's what you get for listening to Cool 108.
Which, by the way, dominates at times. Although Love 105 is right there. Our sisters,
right.
I love 105.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to say love so many times.
Those are pretty solid signs. I think most people would assume them to be signs, Josh.
So,
yes.
those weren't ones. I had to, because I'm always someone that's like, well, you're stretching a little bit. But even I had to go, okay, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, there's not much of a stretch there. I mean, that kind of hits you right over the top of the head. I see where you're going with that.
But when I told you the story and I told somebody else, I kept thinking, like, this might not be that great of a story. But to us, it was meaningful. It was just really weird, the timing and...
Yeah.
Those things it was a pretty clear argument on her side that, okay, this must be the dog.
Yeah.
When you heard that the future dog's name was Apollo and you heard Eye of the Tiger on the radio, you thought to yourself, I'm screwed.
Oh, yeah. And then
there's no getting out, because you didn't really want this second dog.
Well, I was okay with it, but I just thought, let's take our time. We don't need to rush into it. And so this just happened like a week afterwards. And then the other thing is this, again, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but he sleeps on his back with just one arm outstretched like Rocky at the top of the stairs in Philadelphia. When he conquers those stairs, he does that exact same thing.
That's awesome.
It's interesting we're talking about dogs. As I brought up, whether or not you believe in signs or omens, because if you do, then it appears we received an obvious sign or omen this morning. Now, our glorious, wonderful listening audience isn't going to believe this, but it's true. This morning, right outside our studio door, lies a large, hard, dried-up pile of dog feces.
It's so fitting, isn't it? It symbolizes this building.
It does. It sort of does. I thought I was the only dried-up old pile of feces in the building, but hilariously, we found another. Right outside our door this morning, as we're all walking in, feeling great, there it was. Just a big stack. Well, that's got to be a health code violation or something, right?
I would think so.
Definitely.
I thought just what a great sign of it just encapsulates this building. Dana walks in with a jar of spaghetti sauce and says, "Here, I got this for you." Because for some reason, there's a jar of spaghetti sauce that's been sitting on the table outside the studio.
It's very large.
It is. It's like 2.5 pounds. I almost dropped it.
Nobody understands why this jar of spaghetti sauce is out there. And I said, "Oh, Dana, that's great. I got you something as well." Like, look to the left of the table out there, and you missed it when you walked in.
You mean so there's a chance he might have stepped in it?
Oh, no, I warned him. beforehand? Yeah, you could have.
Right? Chance that you could have. That would have been beautiful.
Yeah.
Had you stepped in it before Josh alerted you to its presence.
Exactly. It would have been great.
So I said, "Hey, I got you something. You should go out there." And I forgot exactly what you said, but the look on your face and the way you said it was so funny when you came back in. It was something to the effect of, "Is that for real?"
Yeah. And I believe there were some expletives in there, too.
Yeah, you're wondering, like, there's no way somebody crapped on the floor, their dog crapped on the floor.
Yeah,
but it's happened before. People have pooped in the bathroom on the floor on purpose.
What?
Oh, I was going to just go down the dog feces route.
That's happened, too.
Tell me, Josh, if I'm missing anything. I believe this is the second pile of dog feces that we've encountered in this building over the years. And the first one actually had a pretty funny story connected to it, didn't it?
It did.
Like how it all wrapped up. I know you know that story well.
Oh, yeah, and I was wondering, actually, because the person whose dog it was, and it's obvious whose it is because he's the only person that brings in a dog, works for the same guy who is back in the building. So a long, long time ago, our old boss, he's got a bit of a temper, and our intern, he brought in his dog.
This has got to be 20 years ago.
Oh, at least, yeah, at least. He brought in his dog, and the dog poops on the floor. And this was when this building was actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
When we first moved in, this was really nice.
Yeah, it was fairly
intimidatingly nice.
Yeah, it actually was. Yeah, this place was beautiful at first, but that was
especially from what we were coming from.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I heard there was mushrooms in the ground at the old place.
There was.
In the ground, on the floor.
On the floor,
they were coming up from the carpet. True story. It always smelled like poop. It was terrible.
That was at the old Golden Valley. But this building, when we first moved in, it was beautiful. And a young intern of ours brings in his dog. It was a puppy, was it not?
Yep, it was a puppy. It poops on the floor. And so our boss wasn't happy about it. He bagged it up and put it in the kid's mailbox.
Oh, I love that.
So the next day, going in there, and there's a bag of poop. Instead of throwing it away, it was an F you, man. Don't let your dog poop on the floor.
The intern kid didn't realize that his dog had sprayed turds all over the floor. And, I mean, it reeked bad. It was real bad.
Ugh.
That I do. I remember the smell. Well, that pissed the boss off. So he bagged it up and put it in the kid's friggin' mailbox up at the front desk. That's a riot. I love that story.
No, and a few people are saying, wait, this was indoors? This instead of leaving it outdoors? No, this was right outside our studio on the carpet next to this. There's a big table outside our studios right next to it.
I suppose when I said right outside our door, I should have established right outside the studio door, not the front door. Yeah, we're talking about an indoor dog turd. Fat one, too. It was a big fat piece and then a little piece.
At work. Oh, my God. Why?
It's been cleaned up.
Josh and I were thinking of, maybe leaving a cute note next to it. We considered some jokes. I considered some jokes, but I thought maybe, I didn't want anyone to get mad at me or anything. I was going to leave a note next to it and write on the note, "Hey, KQ, you left your ratings out in the hallway." But I didn't know if anyone, some folks are sensitive. They don't appreciate a good joke.
Well, especially if a joke might hit a little too close to home.
Yeah.
Or
sting a little more.
Because, KQ's studios are right next door to us. I was going to write, hey, KQ, you have a guest waiting outside your door. We didn't go through with it. Yeah, there's one guy in the building who often hauls his dog in here. Nice dog.
I
I've
love
met the
that
dog.
dog.
She's a very nice dog. She or he, whatever it is. But now, you know what? Now, next time we see that dog, we all get to physically discipline it.
Well, he's here today, or she's here today.
And I'm going to physically discipline the owner as well.
Just discipline the owner, not the dog.
Yeah, that's twice now. I don't know about people leaving a turd on the floor in the bathroom.
What's that?
There was a promotions intern. He started out by he would take pictures of his own bowel movements and send them to people, right? That
One
was
of
kind
those
his
guys,
thing. Right.
yeah.
Did I know this guy?
Oh, yeah. He was...
Did I hate him?
Well, you hate a lot of people. So,
Yeah.
yes.
I did?
He for a very short amount of time, he was one of our interns. But at the time, he was promotions. And he would take pictures of it constantly and send it. So if I got a text from him, I just wouldn't even open it anymore. But yeah, then he wasn't getting enough attention for that. So then he started going on the the floor next to the toilet.
He would lay a deuce on the floor in the men's bathroom next to the toilet and leave it there?
Yeah.
I hate him.
He must have been a rich kid who didn't fear for his job.
Actually, I don't know what his background
Would you write
was.
down his name? Because I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
Or who this was. So this is also many years ago. Cubby, many years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Many years ago, he says. So there you go. That's how we got things started this morning. Oh, I see whose name you wrote down. And I have to say, yes, I did greatly dislike that individual at first. And you're not going to hear this very often come out of my mouth. But in a lot of ways, I was wrong about him. I know you're waiting for a punchline, but I'm legitimately, I'm legitimately saying that in a lot of ways, I was wrong about him. I was angry at that time in my career, and I had good reasons to be angry about the situation I was in, and my feelings towards that individual, a lot of it, Josh, was guilt by association. Or not guilt by it. Yes, I guess that would play into... Do you understand what I'm saying? I judged him more by who he hung out with than who he really was.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the last few times I've seen that individual, I've had a really good time talking to him. I still don't understand why anybody in their right mind would lay a turd on the floor of their workplace's bathroom.
He had that sense of humor.
That's crazy person stuff.
Yeah.
But he actually turned out to be someone that I like quite a bit. So.
All right, so I'm outside of our studio here. There's a couple windows to the main area where the dog poop incident happened, and I'm looking. There's some KQ folks surrounding the scene like it was a crime scene.
Taping it off.
Yeah, they're pointing the turd was over here, so the dog must have been walking this way. There's like a bunch of cops evaluating what happened.
It's the most interesting thing that's happened on their show in a long friggin' time.
They're marking chalk lines and everything.
They needed some material to work with, so there you go. Oh, man. And, before the fecal encounter this morning, I was feeling pretty good. I was feeling pumped coming into this. On my way into work, I heard Too Legit to Quit by MC Hammer on the radio.
I didn't know you liked that song.
I don't. I didn't either. Until I heard it this morning. Man, I was hanging my arm out the window, throwing out the Too Legit to Quit hand gesture to folks who drove by.
That's why you're still here, even though you described those miserable times back there. The reason you didn't quit, you were too legit. I used to love MC Hammer.
I suppose you young people don't even know what I'm talking about. I heard the song Too Legit to Quit, but I haven't heard that friggin' song in 30 years. And I'm bouncing up and down in the driver's seat like an 11-year-old. You love MC Hammer?
Oh, yeah. It just I don't know. He's just such a likable guy, and his songs are so catchy and
Come
fun.
on. Too Legit to Quit. That's a quality tune. And I also really grew to like him. What the hell was the television show he was on many years ago where we kind of fell in love with him?
Oh, what was the name of that show?
Was it one of those? Wasn't it one of those I'm a washed up celebrity and now we're in a house together type? Yeah, he was on one of those shows with a bunch of drunk.
Was it? Surreal Life? I don't know.
Yeah, one of those.
I don't know if it was that one, but
MC Hammer. I'd recommend Too Legit to Quit right now to anyone who's not feeling up to the day ahead of them. Rock Too Legit to Quit. You'll be ready to run through a brick wall.
I bet you like Pumps and a Bump.
That was fun hearing that this morning. Pumps and a Bump.
Yeah, Pumps
I remember
and a Bump.
that one. I remember that
Obviously,
one.
you can't touch this. That was huge.
Yeah.
Massive.
Obviously, the only one I know.
I got to bring that one up. I got to bring this up. What day is it today?
Tuesday.
Oh, so we won't talk to Brad Ryder today. He's an MC Hammer fan.
Oh, yeah, he went to his concert.
He went to the show.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He went to the show in 1990. Maybe it's not fair of me to call him an MC Hammer fan over something that happened 34 years ago or whatever, however many years.
Maybe MC Hammer performed at a Wolves game when Brad was working for the Wolves.
That could be as well.
Yeah.
Give it a shot when you have some time. Too Legit to Quit, MC Hammer, 1992. What happened was I've been shown how to operate my phone. I've been shown how to turn on Spotify, right? Mm-hmm. So on my way into work sometimes, on my way home sometimes, I'll just punch up the top hits of and then enter a year. So this morning I just punched in 1992, knowing full well that the 90s had the worst music of any decade, but I figured what the hell, I'll just listen to whatever happened to see if I can remember some of these. And there's a lot of Boys to Men and Mariah Carey and this and that. And then up pops Too Legit to Quit. And I just had a riot with that. That was a good time. Hopefully we clean up the dog pile because we got company today. Janel Klein, Willi Myles, and Dick Bremer.
That's a heck of a show right there.
Yeah.
Can't crap on that one. That's a good one.
It's a pretty solid lineup.
I'm not fat. I'm aerodynamic, Jesus said, of the investigation going outside of our studio here, trying to figure out what was going on with the dog poop. It's CSI Crap Scene Investigation.
Crap Scene Investigation. Oh, wow. All right, so yesterday we brought up our Rock the River boat party coming up September 20th on the Mississippi. Go to 93x.com. You can buy tickets to our Rock the River booze cruise right now. We brought that up. We did. There's going to be free food from Lucky's 13 Pub and Grub. There's going to be live music from Gel. Thank you to Anytime Bail Bonds, Paddleford Riverboats. Go to our website right now, buy up the tickets, if there are any still remaining after yesterday. Sometimes they go fast. Josh did mention this as well yesterday, but now it's kind of been all made official. You can come see us at the Minnesota State Buy Damn Fair. Well, 93X will be there broadcasting, of course, from the black box that rocks. Are we still calling it that? I never really enjoyed saying that out loud.
Yeah, I think that's still what they're going with. It's all renovated.
Yep.
Did you see it?
No,
it looks
really?
Great. Yeah, they redid it. I don't know on the inside if it's still disgusting.
Yeah, did they get the stink out of there?
I'm not sure, but it sure. I haven't been really inside in many, many years. Thank God we don't broadcast them there anymore. That was so pointless.
So they renovated it. Maybe they got the smell out of it. That's terrific. But the only thing that would really truly improve that friggin' thing is if they tripled the size. Then I'd be okay sitting in there.
I don't know if they can.
It's so small. There's not a lot of room at the state.
Meaning, I don't know if we have the space at the fair. I don't know what they give us, but it looks great. It really does.
So the other dorks, whoever comes on after us, they'll be broadcasting there on and off. We will be making 2 appearances at the 93X booth. Both Fridays of the fair from 10 to noon. Come see us. Both Friday mornings. What do they say here? Of course, we're near the grandstand over there by Sweet Martha Cookie. Pick up your brand new gear. Okay, I haven't had a chance to really peruse the new gear.
It's awesome. You have to see the Wapple shirt.
There's a
Wapple shirt.
So somebody texted me yesterday and said, hey, asked actually about you, Wapple, if there was the mugshot. And usually they kind of give us a list of what's coming out. And so you haven't seen it either, Nick. Nobody showed me anything
I have
yet.
no idea what's happening.
A link or something?
You go on 93x.com and then click on the right-hand link. It says 93x at the fair.
I'll send you a link,
if you kind of scroll down, you can see all the new merch.
There's a Wapple shirt.
Oh, yeah. a bunch of different pictures.
I'm going to wear that thing everywhere.
When did this happen? When did this get decided on?
They talked about it months ago, and they told me, hey, can you send us a bunch of photos of yourself? So I sent them like 56 photos, and then they just went from there.
Do you mind me asking you a personal question? And it's very rude because this is financial. Let's say these shirts go through 2 runs, right? They sell out twice. How much money does Wapple get out of that?
$0.
Insane.
Yeah, see, I mean, some would be jealous that one member of our show has their own T-shirt. You know, someone might say, well, how come there isn't a Dana shirt? Someone might say, how come there isn't a Josh shirt? But see, I mean, the rest of us, we'll just take our raise.
I didn't even know we were getting a raise. Nobody tells me anything.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, right?
I could really use that.
I think I'll just take my raise.
I could use that.
You got a T-shirt instead.
Nick, I didn't even consider that. That's the move around
Yeah,
here.
that's the move,
that
dude.
probably is.
Oh, yeah, dude, you're getting screwed over, man.
I've been getting screwed here for years.
Don't get too pumped about this, Wapple, because deep down we know what this means. We know what this gesture truly means. You're not getting any more money. Here's a T-shirt.
Yeah, they sit around. What do we do to get Wapple to shut up about money? I know, we'll give him a T-shirt.
There it is. Your face is on a T-shirt. But I'm broke. Your face is on a T-shirt.
I have no place to live.
Your
you have
face
a T-shirt.
is on...
You know, it's great. I look forward to a year from now when somebody's perusing the aisles of Goodwill and they send us
Oh, yeah. I thought that years ago with my, shot glasses and coffee mugs. Haven't seen that yet.
Your mugshot coffee mugs?
Yep. Haven't seen that yet, but I will.
Oh, I found the shirt I'm going to buy. There's some cool stuff this year. I mean, not that there isn't in previous years, but there's some new stuff here that I enjoy.
That's what I'm looking for. As a married man, I'm looking for some new stuff.
Yeah, you always are.
And I might find it at the fair, 10 to noon, both Fridays. And thanks to the folks at Wolf River Electric for helping out this year. So you're seeing some pretty nice merch.
Yeah, so, okay, I'm going to go. But, yeah, we have to buy the stuff, by the way. Right there with you. If you want to buy it, we have to buy it, too.
Wap wants to buy his own T-shirt.
I literally do.
That's hilarious.
Literally do. Full price.
Yep.
So I'm the only one who makes a little money off the merch?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's more than a little bit of money. That's why I'm always the one that says,
buy something or get out.
It's cute that you stop by and see us, but truly, buy something or get out of my face. Because this is a significant amount of my income, is the State Fair merch.
Well, I'll be giving you some because, like I was trying to say, I love the sweatshirt, the hoodie. I like that camo shirt. I'll be buying that. I like the 93X shirt with the sound wave behind it. That's really cool.
More beer money for me.
Oh, yeah, we got a couple of cool hats.
I like a good hat. You know what I'll do?
Sunglasses, I'll just throw those away.
Yeah, don't bother.
Don't need those.
Every once in a while, I'll put my hat on backwards even. You guys know what I'm saying?
My wife likes that look.
Oh, most women do. Yep,
I
that's
didn't know
the
that.
best.
Even on a
50-year-old man or an almost 50-year-old man?
Yeah, that's a great question. It really is. Even on a 50 or so year old man, is it okay with your who said it was hot? Ashley.
Yep.
Is it still cute when a 50 or so year old man wears his hat backwards?
Yes.
Okay.
Always will be.
I've heard wild arguments to the contrary.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Especially if you're in the middle of doing something and then in order to focus or whatever, you have to flip your hat around. It's like, whoa.
One night we were shooting.
I do that when I'm arm wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got to.
That's where I get my real power from.
That's how you go over the top.
My old man
I don't
used
understand
to
the reference.
My old man used to crack us up when we were kids when we'd be fishing in our 16-foot boat with a 15-horse motor. He'd say, all right, we're going to go across the lake now. And he'd turn his hat backwards before he cranked up that 15-horse.
Heck yeah.
And I always thought, are we really getting ready? Oh, I guess not. You know what I mean? You're not going to need a hat backwards for that.
By the way, keep sending your text to the Luther Bloomington Kia text line. I get paid per text. I know you guys don't have that same deal.
No, I don't get any money from text messages.
Yeah, I get a lot of money from text messages.
It's funny how they spread the wealth.
Yeah, they just throw it around.
In order to not, and then when they're out of money and there's someone bitching, they give them a T-shirt to be sold at the State Fair.
Emotional Boner Jesus says, okay, Lincoln Hawk. I don't understand the reference. All I was saying was when I'm arm wrestling, I flip my hat around backwards, and then I get in my semi and I drive from town to town. I don't understand the Lincoln Hawk reference.
Lincoln Hawk? Is that a brand of chewing tobacco or something?
No, that's the name of Sylvester Stallone. In Over the Top.
Oh, yeah. One
That's
night...
a sweet name.
A sweet what?
A sweet name.
That's one good Hollywood name
Heck
right
yeah.
there. One night when we were shooting pocket billiards at my neighborhood bar, one guy in my group of friends verbally attacked another man, complete stranger who was also just trying to play a nice casual game of pocket billiards, verbally attacked this other guy for being too old to wear his hat backwards, right? He said, no man over 35 should ever wear his hat backwards. This is a high school buddy of mine now. He's in his 50s. The following day at breakfast, dude shows up, my buddy, with his hat on backwards.
Sweet.
Sometimes those comments don't hold a lot of water. You know, you better live by those if you're that passionate about what direction a man's hat faces.
You know, I like the name Lincoln Hawk so much, I'm going to change it. But I'm going to make it 2024. My new name, Lincoln Hawk Tua.
Dude.
By the way, thank you, More Anxiety Than Hair Jesus. I jokingly said I get paid per text from Luther Bloomington Kia. And so he wrote a text that just says, here you go, buddy. Buy yourself something sexy.
Hell yeah.
All right, we better get her done. We better get moving along. We got lots to do. Like I said, the company coming in, Janel.
The Wapple shirt.
See Willi Myles and Dick Bremer and all that. You're a great crowd. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
We're all juggling life, a career, and trying to build a little bit of wealth. The Brown Ambition podcast with host Mandy and Tiffany, the budgetnista, can help.
Let's talk about the financials behind locks. It can be quite pricey, but as your hair locks, it needs way less product. When I had my fro, it was way more costly as it relates to products because my fro was thirsty.
No, it's very expensive. Yeah.
Yes. I need the whole bottle. So
what, a dime-sized portion of what?
Girl, the laughter.
Brown Ambition.
Wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
By damn. Just when you think you've heard it all. You think you've heard every damn thing, but that's what the Stupid News Report hopes to accomplish now and again, to sicken you with something brand new. Like this year, at least to me, it all feels brand new. Here's a guy and his lady. They're up against it. They're in trouble with the law for performing a sex act on a fish. Oh. And the two of them have had to go off to court for this. You ever banged a fish, Josh?
No.
All right. Ever had any of the desire?
Huh?
Ever had the desire, Josh, to bang a fish?
He's not answering.
What's that? Say again?
What does this say? She's a 58-year-old gal by the name of Catherine Lee. Her lover is a fella called Ashley Halam, and he's up to 55 years old these days. Both of them from summers up there in Australia. They made a cute video on a boat out on the ocean. In the video, Miss Lee is supposedly laid out on her back, and the dude is using a live brown trout to perform a sex act on her. Now, I didn't see the video. I'm guessing that the live trout is flopping and flipping around, and the dude is using that flopping and flipping action to possibly please his lady and her sensitive parts. That's just a guess because I did not see the video.
That's my understanding, yeah.
So the fish
You're risking a fish smell down there.
No.
You got to be careful.
So the fish is convulsing this way and that like a big, cold, scaly vibrator with eyes and gills.
Yeah, I've never been tempted to have sex with any animal, thank God. I mean, when you hear sucker-mouth catfish, you might get a little bit of a tingle, but then reason kicks in, and you're not going to have sex with them.
You're only humor. You're only humor. That doesn't make any sense. You're only human. You're going to consider it for a second.
Well, you hear the name, yeah.
When you hear sucker catfish, but then reason takes over. Yeah, I don't care who you are. You can't just go ahead and use a live animal as a sex toy on your damn girlfriend.
No matter, it's, being horny and wanting to do that it's worse, certainly. For comedy, maybe a little less terrifying, but even so, that's over the top.
Yeah.
Something should happen legally, don't you think?
I think so. And
maybe fed to its family, or I don't know.
Oh, boy. And in the eyes of the Australian law, Josh, to record something like that makes for possession of bestiality-style videos. And that's not cool. That's just bizarre and disgusting.
Stuck in Brainerd Jesus watched the video. I couldn't watch the video. I saw a couple still photos that were blurred. It's out there if you want to see it. It's on Reddit.
Oh, Lord. People are texting in what they know about the video as well, and they're claiming that they made the fish disappear.
Oh, no.
It's not okay.
Is that
yeah. A couple of people are saying the whole fish went in there. They had a picture of just the fish. It was huge. There's no way. That could.
Are we sure that was the same fish that was inserted?
I don't know.
See, now I feel totally ripped off because the story, the way it was written, didn't give us any indication that they hid the fish. Did it, Josh?
No, it didn't say anything about it. It just basically said a sex act.
Oh, God. Yeah, a few listeners are telling me that the fish disappeared and then reappeared and then disappeared and then reappeared and then disappeared and then
that's
reappeared.
terrible.
In a manner that everyone became accustomed to, including the fish.
More and more people are texting in like Steel Cutter Jesus and said, basically, whatever you're imagining, it's worse.
Oh, no.
Despicable.
Yeah. Beef Cannon Jesus wants to know if I like fish sticks. Yeah, I love fish sticks.
I do, too.
In my mouth.
Yeah, me too. One listener, oh, geez, Jesus, texted to say, I have the video. Do you want it? Yes, I do.
Oh, you do?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I chose not to watch it.
Well, I got to see this now. Are you kidding me? When I was under the what's the next word in that sentence? When I was under the impression that the fish was just sort of used as a vibrator, I can picture that. I can.
Actually, right
now that I'm learning that the fish became a dildo, I'm sorry, I can't pass up on seeing that. That's something you will. Don't get me wrong. I hope these people are punished. You can't use an animal as a sex toy. But I got to see this. You only live once.
Ugh.
Hopefully you know my email there. Oh, geez, Jesus.
I was just thinking about a vibrator right before we went on the air. I don't know why this popped in my head. I guess I saw a story on vaping.
What was the straightest-laced dude in town doing thinking about a vibrator?
Well, so, yeah, I just remembered why I popped. I was reading a story about vaping, right? And then it reminded me that something I learned on this show not too long ago. Dana was talking about that dildo that is also a vape. Vape, is that what you would call it? Just a vape?
Yep.
Is that the way? Yeah. I just can't imagine the brainstorming that went into that.
Hold on. I need a little puff.
Yeah. Can I get that back from you real quick?
One for you, one for here.
I finally have taken an interest in vaping. Before that story, I didn't care to vape. Now I kind of want to vape. In just another stupid town in England by the name of Wiltshire, the local police there had to go out and catch a drunk driver who stole a van filled with fish. And I wonder, Josh, if the drunk just thought he was out on a date with the filthiest gal in town.
I know you.
So what made you want to become a policeman? officer. So what made you want to become a policeman officer? What movie, Hot Fuzz? Policeman officers in this stupid town called Wiltshire were called about a white van rolling through town that had been allegedly stolen. The cops followed the van for a while, then they pulled the bastard over and arrested him for an English DWI. Driving a van filled with fish. I bet that vehicle stunk like a sumbitch. Well, I guess...
The cops mentioned that.
Did they?
Yeah.
It's possible there was some level of refrigeration.
Or it's probably all frozen. But I think the cops might have been joking around, but they did mention it. I wonder if it's one of those things where he just, he's hammered, he sees a vehicle, steals it, or if he knows, like, oh, man, I'm going to get in some Filet-O-Fish sandwiches for a while.
Yeah. I'm in the money. I'm rich in fish.
The policeman officers behind the arrest, they felt the need to get cute on social media with this. They said it was a catch and no release for this driver. Shut up, English dorks.
I met a English guy over the weekend, British guy, and he did want to know what your problem with them was.
Incredible. What'd you say?
He has to ask what my problem is?
Yeah, he did ask. Jokingly
That's
so.
part of the problem.
Jokingly so.
Friggin' English. Josh, I hate to even have to include this next story in our stupid news report because it has the potential to undo all of the positive conversation that we have had, you and I, Josh. It has the potential to undo all of the positive conversation that we have had about colonoscopies on this here radio show. The both of us have been advocates for colonoscopies ever since we were both professionally cornholed a couple of years ago.
I agree. That was my fear, too. That somebody they've got an appointment today. They just finished cleaning out their system. Their bowels are on E. There's nothing left. All there is just to get in there and get it done. Yeah, I don't want to discourage anybody from having the procedure.
By the way, before we get to this now, back to the story where a boyfriend was using a fish as a dildo on his girlfriend, and they recorded it on video, and they're in big trouble. Whole frog protection Jesus wants to know if during the process the fish was singing, "Put me in the river, soak me in the water."
Somebody,
I don't know if the fish was singing the old McDonald's song.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Somebody had shoot, the text went away here. But somebody had texted in essentially saying, "Oh, can you imagine trying to get the smell out of the fish?"
You son of a bitch bastard. All right, again, this story runs the risk of undoing all the good that Josh and I have done on the subject of colonoscopies. We've talked about how easy and painless the process was for the two of us. We've been stressing that there's nothing to fear.
And the prep isn't as bad as you've heard.
The prep isn't. Go ahead, guys. Let them go back door. That's been our motto for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And this is likely going to destroy everything we've built with our pro-beehole health propaganda.
And keep in mind, though, that, the reason it's a story is because it just doesn't happen, right? This is an outlier. Otherwise, this wouldn't even be an interesting story whatsoever.
It's an excellent point.
But yeah, let a guy backdoor you.
Yeah. It's good. In the long run, it can only benefit you.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, so I mentioned this before. I put it off, and I was miserable, and I thought, well, I don't have to do it till I'm 50. And then they said 45. I'm like, oh, no, I'm 45. I'm going to have to do it. I don't want to do this. I canceled appointments. It wasn't bad at all. At all. I would do it tomorrow. But in my case, I know, Nick, they didn't find anything in yours other than like it was a class ring or something like that. But for me, they did find 4 polyps, or 5. Which the guy said, hey, good thing you came in.
They found a bunch of polyps up in your colony. What do they call it?
Colon.
Mine was, the doctor said he would have eaten off of it. He said it was beautiful. They found a bunch of, well, you're a goner.
Well, yeah, he said come back every 3 years.
All right.
I'll be back tomorrow. No big deal.
Yeah. Oh, I want to go back tomorrow because tonight is pizza night. An 84-year-old doctor. And right there, what the hell are you still doing at work when you're 84? Go home and retire. Enough already.
Yeah, and he's a doctor, so you know he has money.
Yeah, hang it up, man.
This here 84-year-old doctor, he effed up his last couple of colonoscopies. During one of them, the patient was, quote, screaming in agony, and the Jurassic doctor couldn't hear the screams because he wasn't wearing his hearing aids.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on, dude.
What? Why is he allowed to even do anything anymore?
Oh, no.
He's just whistle while I work.
Yeah.
He's just in there.
The doctor's name is Ishwari Prasad. Don't you know? He's been put on, probation for this effing nightmare. He's likely going to be fined. Summer's around $15,000 for making a mostly pain-free experience a living hell for a couple of patients. There are other details here that are going to scare some of yous even further away from butthole doctors than you already were a few minutes ago. This old-timer, Prasad, he allegedly delegated medical tasks to a surgical tech who did not have a license to practice medicine. If a doctor is going to be going 3 fingers in on me, I would hope they have a medical license. I would hope that.
Yeah, I want to see that hanging on the wall.
But your colon ends up hanging from the wall in the end, right?
Yeah, and then my kidneys too. All right, we're taking those.
You lost some fingers along the way. I don't know. But the highlight of the entire story is when Prasad inserted the poop chute scope before the patient was fully sedated, causing him to scream out in pain.
No.
And again, Dad didn't stop grinding his way down the old Hershey Highway because his effing hearing aids weren't in and he couldn't hear the poor feller screaming for his life.
Can't see the dude, clenching his fists and everything.
Thrashing around?
Yeah.
I don't know, but, I wouldn't want to move because I'd be so afraid. So he doesn't, I imagine he doesn't want to, sit up and be like, or he can't sit up, but, get up and be like, hey, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I think your reaction would be just to turn around, maybe slug the guy or something, right?
Yeah, true.
I might be afraid to move also with that hammer in my can, whatever the hell they throw back there with a camera on the end of it. It felt like a hammer. Claw hammer. This effing guy. I mean, I'm sure he's done some great things in his career and saved a few lives and all that, but it's time to go get into your chair and we'll bring you a snack so you can have your nap time.
Yeah, it seems like instead of probation, they should say, dude, you're done.
Good Lord. Come on.
Classic Country Jesus asks us, Nick, how incredible the farts are after a, quote, balloon knot check. We didn't experience that. People had said that, too. Neither one of us had that.
Not a one.
We talked about this just a couple weeks ago, and somebody pointed out there are entire YouTube videos dedicated to post-colonoscopy farts.
Never happened. Never saw it.
Yeah, Randy said that he had to fart before they let him out.
Randy,
yeah, it didn't happen for us, I guess.
Well, Randy's elderly. Maybe you have to be older.
He does love that kind of humor,
Yeah, no, it never happened. Never saw it. So that's terrible. I hope that if you're at that point in life where you need to sign up for a colonoscopy, I hope that story doesn't give you too much pause because it is important to get her done.
I mean, yeah, I can tell you, both of our experiences, easy.
Yep, it was.
I was terrified. I really didn't want to do it. I even thought, man, I wish I was into getting stuff shoved up back there so it wouldn't be a big deal, but it was to me. I was new to the whole experience, but I would go back, no problem. Jiu-Jitsu Jesus said, what's the circumference of the camera compared to? I don't know. I never saw it. But next time I'm going to request bigger. Whatever I want it to be a little more girthy next time.
I'm glad they didn't let you see it. That would mess me up a little more if they showed me what they're about to use.
Well, you know what? They very well could have, and I was so out of it I don't remember. I was awake.
It was like a baseball bat handle.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
All right, now here's a hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. And they allegedly have misplaced a big chunk of a dude's skull.
Huh?
They lost a dude's skull.
All right, who took the skull?
Yeah, have you checked your jacket pockets? Well, we're going to make it so nobody ever wants to go back to their doctor ever again. Jesus. So they pulled a big piece of skull off of a guy, and now they can't find it. This guy's going to have to wear a hat everywhere he goes from now on.
I mean, he's lopsided now. Is the picture?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Dude with the hole in his head, he's now suing the hospital, to nobody's surprise. Here's the whole schmear. Dude by the name of Fernando Cluster. Oh, it was just too easy for his high school buddies, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
The last name is Cluster. Not fair. Anyway, he goes on into the hospital a few years ago. He had caught a case of that brain bleed.
It's never good.
And doctors, they decided he needed a big piece of his skull to be pulled loose and removed to reduce pressure. So they did that. 2 months later, he comes back to have the piece of skull replaced, and the hospital can't find it. It says here, quote, they couldn't find the man's skull piece amongst a pile of other identified bone fragments from other patients' bodies.
No way. I was just about to ask you guys if you think they have like a pile of bones.
Can't
they do.
Big bin they go through.
Get a set of filing cabinets or something. Put some name tags on
And
them.
it wasn't like this is a tiny piece. They said it was like 28 square inches.
It's a big piece of this guy's cranium.
It's a big chunk.
Get a filing cabinet. Drawer 1, Cluster F's skull plate. Drawer 2, Miss Anderson's kneecap. It's not that difficult, is it, Josh?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Someone over there at the hospital said this. They said, we inspected the freezer where bone flaps are stored and could not find a bone flap with Mr. Cluster's name on it. Well, Christ, just give me any bone flap. I'll even take a meat flap if I have to. I got a hole in my skull, you bastards.
On the topic of last names where it's pretty easy and you kind of feel bad for the kid, do you guys, the actress Olivia Wilde, do you know her real last name?
No.
I told you guys I've been rewatching House, so I've been Wikipediaing and IMDbing all the actors and actresses and stuff. Her last name is Cockburn.
Oh, no.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Wapple, which WWE legend's real name is Michael Hickenbottom? Is that Shawn Michaels?
Yes. Yep.
Michael Hickenbottom.
Yep.
You know, maybe that's why he's so big and intimidating at this point. Got tired of people picking on him.
Maybe that's why he also had some gear that had lips and stuff on him.
Very well could be. Celebrities' real names can be a lot of fun. Give me Billy Gunn's again. It's Monty something really dorky. Billy Gunn, otherwise the original Mr. Ass. It's Monty Hiccups or something like it. Pickup.
Monty Kip Sop.
Monty Kip Sop.
Yep.
I don't know why he didn't just use that as his stage name. That's really catchy.
Kip is his middle name.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so Monty Sop.
Monty Sop. That sucks. The one I always get a kick out of? W. Axl Rose. You guys know his real name?
Isn't it Bill Bailey?
Billy Bailey.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Bill Bailey.
All right. Back to this guy with the missing skull. The hospital fabricated a synthetic piece of skull for a player. That's what they had for him. They couldn't find his real skull. They put a synthetic... the nightmare wasn't over for old Cluster F here. His synthetic skull got infected. The cost of all of this has gone through the roof. The hospital hasn't offered to give him a discount in any way, shape, or form for their F-up. So, Cluster F and his wife, Lady Cluster F, are looking to have the hospital compensate them for medical bills and emotional damages and, give them their money.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's absolutely insane that the hospital's like, full price.
Sue. Sue until you can't sue anymore.
Someone's asking me a trivia question here, I think. Or they're trying to sucker me into saying a controversial person's name out loud. March Madness Jesus. This rings a bell. March Madness Jesus is asking me who is the famous person who was born, and don't answer this, give me a chance. Who was the famous person born as Reginald Kenneth Dwight?
Oh, I know that one. Yep. I think I know that one.
Is that Elton John?
It is Elton John.
Mm-hmm. Oh, can we play
At least
this?
I think it's Elton John.
Can we play this game today? Send us real names of celebrities, and we'll try to come up with the celebrity who was born with that name. Go ahead, 651, how do you call it, 989-9393. Send us the real names of celebrities, and we'll try to name the celebrity. I love this. I do enjoy that game. All right, I got one for you guys. I believe his real name is Gordon Sumner.
Sting.
Yeah, and I believe the folks at WCW wanted him to go with Gordon Sumner, but instead he said, I want to be Sting.
Good thing he did that.
I thought you were talking about the...
I know, I am. I was just trying to confuse things. Yes,
the musician Sting.
We're talking about the guy from the Police. Brian Carroll, isn't that, don't tell me, isn't that, what's his nuts, Marilyn Manson, or he's Brian Werner? Who's Brian Carroll?
Is that Buckethead?
Oh, for Christ's sake, who cares about Buckethead? Make sure it's a famous person that matters.
Oh, I like Buckethead.
Nobody likes Buckethead.
I might be wrong on that.
There's nobody out there that likes Buckethead.
Oh, Robert Van Winkle, sure, that's an easy one.
Oh, yeah.
Vanilla Ice.
Uh-huh.
Well, who's Brian Carroll? Someone look that up.
Buckethead.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's what I see.
Oh, stop that. All right, game over. I don't want to play anymore.
It was fun while it lasted.
It was, but I don't want to play anymore.
I don't know this one. Mark Sinclair?
No idea.
That sounds familiar.
Now, how do you not know this, Dana? Vin Diesel.
Oh, Vin Diesel, yeah. Mark Sinclair.
Farouk Bulsara, of course, that's Freddie Mercury.
Let's see.
Wow, a lot of them are coming in.
Jeez Louise. I don't know Harold Lloyd Jenkins.
Not a clue. These must be new people. I know the old people. I don't know the new
Who's
people.
Harold Lloyd Jenkins?
Conway Twitty.
Oh, yeah, I never would have got
Mm-hmm.
that.
Conway Twitty. Boy, he had a beautiful singing voice.
All right, I looked this one up because I didn't know it.
I'll try.
Marina Ann Hanses.
Not a clue.
That is Sasha Grey. Speaking, we were talking about butts earlier.
Oh, yeah. the damn porn star. Let me tell you
I thought Ashley would get on that one.
I should have known.
She put in a friggin' effort.
Yeah,
if there's
she did.
one thing you could, aside from being gorgeous and sexy and just, a talented, she made an effort.
All right, I got this one, and you guys will probably get this right away. Calvin Brodus.
Oh, that's a Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, yeah.
Stephanie Germanato, that's Lady Gaga.
I never would have got that.
Nope. Again, give us the old people, you guys take the young people. That's how we're going to play it out this morning.
Deal.
All right. Do I got time? Yeah, I got time. Here we are now. Halloween is a couple of months away. But soon enough, all the silly haunted house gimmicks will be doing their thing. You ever been in a situation where you signed up for the haunted house tour thingy, and that haunted house folks scared you or a friend so badly that someone ended up getting socked in the yap?
Not exactly that, but I was with a guy who was pretty scared going into it. You know, he even told all of us, listen, I get scared at these things. And he shoved a a girl.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like a scary girl from like The Ring or one of the, like she kind of looked like that.
Oh, I
she
get it.
popped out and he shoved her backwards into the wall.
Oh. Hilarious.
Just reaction, yeah.
Here's a story smooth out of Japan. A court case. Don't you know? This is something that happened over a decade ago. A killer karate master walked into the neighborhood theme park haunted house setup. A haunted house character dressed in a scary costume popped out of nowheres and scared the lethal karate master. And he unleashed a Charlie Murphy-style front kick and broke the haunted house character's jaw for him.
Oh.
So this is a story that a courtroom has been hearing for years, trying to settle this stupid thing.
Unless you're kneeling, if I ever kick you, your face is going to be fine.
Yeah, I can't stop. Like,
Anything
figure
above
that out. Wow.
anything above your knee is safe. There's no way I could get my leg anywhere near that.
Vincent Fournier's Alice Cooper. Along the way, I'm answering these questions we asked the brother and sisterhood to send us real names of celebrities, and we'll name their celebrity persona. Saul Hudson, of course, is Slash. Okay.
O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. So, karate guy, whoop-pop, kicks the haunted house worker, breaks his jaw for him. It says here the karate man had been drinking prior to entering the haunted house. He got sued. But then he went ahead and sued the haunted house because he thinks the whole mess is partially their fault, too. Here's what the deadly karate guy said. There was no partition or physical barrier between the, quote, ghost, the scary character, and guests. He didn't think that was right. There should be a partition so the scary characters can't grab you by the... The park also failed to train its employees to avoid attacks from customers. How you do that, I have no idea, because you're dealing with different individuals every 2 seconds. But this is all from the yap of the killer karate man. The park failed to adequately inform customers that the haunted house contained human workers acting as ghosts.
What? What did he think he was doing?
They didn't tell him what was going on in there. He had no idea what was going on in there.
Like he just got dropped from a plane in the middle of this place.
An adult had no clue. Okay.
And the best claim of all from the karate killer, the park shouldn't have let him in because he'd been drinking.
I always liked that.
It's your fault because I was drunk.
Yeah, they avoid personal responsibility as if it's somebody else's problem, how they behave.
It makes sense why there's some haunted houses out there where they don't allow you to drink. Or you can't be drinking at all, no smoking, none of that. This must be why something like this happened.
I know I ask this every year, but I forget. Did they change the rules where you're allowed to be touched now in those? Maybe they just give you a heads up.
Depends on what place you
Yeah,
go to.
there's some that do.
It's okay? It's okay now? Because I don't know if this was true, but I'd heard, oh, no, it's against the law. They can't touch you or whatever.
You got to sign a pretty lengthy waiver, but they do have ones where they can grab onto you.
Oh, you do? I've been to some of the bigger ones. I've never had to sign a waiver. Maybe they just didn't care what happened to me.
I think it's in the small print when you buy a ticket. It's basically like if you buy this ticket and, cash it in, that's your waiver.
Yep, it'll always, and it will also say, like, you agree not to touch the characters.
I was at one once where they straight up took my friend and put her in a body bag.
Oh, that's one of those very immersive ones, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
I don't think I'd care for that too much.
I would hate that.
No,
I've never met your friend.
Now, in the end, the whoop-pa. Oh, my word.
Oh, my word.
The killer karate dude lost his court case.
I'm glad to hear that, actually.
He lost.
Karen Rogers is a douche Jesus. Text in what he's calling a very difficult one, celebrity name. Got to figure out whose birth name this is. Thomas Cruise Mapother IV. I'm lost.
Could be anybody.
You're right. That was impossible.
I have to say, the great majority of the real birth names that you have sent in, I have no idea who the celebrity is that was born with that name. So they must be a lot of new people, 70s and 80s people. I know a few of these. You've thrown me most of them. I have no idea who these people are. What were you going to go with that, Josh?
This is from Excited Like an Antenna Dong Jesus. Anna Mae Bullock?
Yeah, that rings a bell. That's don't tell me. It's not Sandra Bullock.
Oh.
Anna Mae Bullock. Oh, God. I should know
I
this.
know, I've heard this before.
She's an older celebrity. Oh, for God's sake.
That's not Cher, is it?
She's known as the queen of rock and roll.
Oh, Tina Turner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's Cher's
Son of a bitch. Cher is, her real name is Lindsay Lohan. This is really interesting, though. So, yeah, I'll try to get back to your text, although as I'm seeing them whip by, so many of them, I have no idea. But it is still a fun game. This one really grabbed me. One of the most brilliant comedy actors to ever live, Ted Knight. God, the world was a better place when Ted Knight was in it. He was just so wonderful. He's been dead for many years. A listener tells me Ted Knight's real name was Tadeusz Ladislaw Konopka. I'm just so happy to know that.
I like that.
I really am. I'm very happy to know that. Thank you for that information. We got to take a little break, Ski. We'll give you a little look into the sports when we come back.
Hey, podcasters. 93X presents Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper. Right now, text DEAD, D-E-A-D, DEAD to 651-989-9393 for a chance to win some tickets. Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper will be at the XL Energy Center Sunday, August 25th. This prize is provided by Live Nation, and this keyword is good today, August 20th until midnight.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Tyreek is just chasing clout. The man, anytime somebody fast comes up, he says he wants to race him. If he really wanted to race people, he would have showed up like DK Metcalf. And the man raced in the 60 meters this year in the Masters division. The man dodged the smoke.
Put that on the top 5 things I least care about. But what's the kid's name from the Kansas City Chiefs?
Tyreek Hill.
He wants to have a foot race.
He's with the Dolphins now.
Yeah. Oh, right. He wants to have a foot race with the kid who ran for the U.S. Olympic team. Whose
Noah
name?
Lyles.
Right. Do you care who wins this foot race?
I'm interested.
You are?
Yeah, I kind of want to see it. If he can take on an Olympian. Seems far-fetched, but he is pretty quick.
Doesn't he do this about every few years?
Oh, yeah.
He gets sensitive about watching someone that might be faster than him. And
for whatever reason. And, people always describe him as fast, right? They always talk about how fast he is. But, yes, he gets butthurt if somebody else is making news for being fast. No matter what the discipline is, he seems to get upset by it.
Yeah, that's his thing, that Tyreek Hill.
For some reason, I always picture the boys, when they have the race-off to see who's the fastest man for being Vott's fast dude. I always picture that.
Can someone help him? Because I didn't understand a word he just said.
The way you described that was like how our old program director, who does not like sports at all, would describe an athlete. Yeah, that sports guy, he does that thing in sports.
So what did he just say?
He's talking about, so from the show The Boys, they're these superheroes, quote unquote, right? They're evil superheroes, a lot of them.
Okay.
And there was a race between, I forget the names. I haven't watched since season 2.
A-Train and I can't remember.
Yeah, A-Train
Earthquake or something.
Another guy. Yep. So he's talking about a foot race between them.
Okay. Oh, God help us. Hey, the Twins' West Coast start time made it so I couldn't make her through last night's ball game. The San Diego Padres beat the Twins 5-3 last night. And Kansas City also won, so now the Royals and Twins are both 2.5 games out of first place. Cleveland was off last night. We're going to get into great detail on this with Randy Shaver and flipping Dick Bremer here in about a half hour, and also joining us in a half hour, Janel Klein and Willi Myles. Before that sets in, We got to come back here with Josh's news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930. Now ran by his granddaughter, Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
We're all juggling life, a career, and trying to build a little bit of wealth. The Brown Ambition podcast with host Mandy and Tiffany, the Budgetnista, can help.
Let's talk about the financials behind locks. It can be quite pricey, but as your hair locks, it needs way less product. When I had my fro, it was way more costly as it relates to products because my fro was thirsty.
No, it's very expensive. Yeah.
Yes. I need the whole bottle. So
What, a dime-sized portion of what?
Girl, the laughter.
Brown Ambition.
Wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
I was just questioning his intentions the entire time. And I know that child trafficking is absolutely a growing problem here in the United States. And so that was the first thing that came to mind.
This is both freaky and deaky. A 26-year-old man followed a family around Washington Dulles Airport before somehow sneaking onto their flight without a ticket in a security breach the airline says they're investigating. The incident happened August 2nd when Lauren Benton, her husband, and their 2 young children were preparing to fly home to Atlanta. Benton said after clearing security, she noticed a man following them to the gate. At one point, the man even followed her and her daughters into the women's restroom. Once at the gate, the man continued to follow the family and boarded their plane sitting in the same row.
I was shocked and felt nauseous. I could not believe the magnitude of the safety breach.
Like a stray dog, he followed the family everywhere they went. A flight attendant quickly discovered the man didn't have a ticket or boarding pass and had him removed by local law enforcement. In a similar incident in March, a 26-year-old man snuck on a Delta flight in Salt Lake City bound for Austin by using photos of other passengers' boarding passes to scan the barcode at the gate. He was caught when the fully booked flight had no empty seats.
That would be a problem.
So this first guy who was following the family, he didn't have any particular interest in them other than just using them as a decoy?
I don't know. They didn't say one way or the other, but I would think they had an interest, or he had an interest in them because he followed them into the women's restroom.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I forgot about that part. He wanted to watch them pee.
I think he did, yeah. I told you before, that's never something that's really been an allure for me, potty games. But I did kind of accidentally see my wife pee when one of the dogs opened the door when she was in there.
Not everyone's built for that kind of thing, Cubby.
But something happened where I thought, I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting it. It just kind of surprised me, and I thought I'd watch that again.
And you get to see it for free.
Yeah. Videos show 37-year-old Michael Atkinson, a nightmare neighbor from England, they're calling him, verbally abusing a family, threatening to burn their cars, and believe it or not, even telling his son to pee on one of their vehicles. Atkinson, a father of 3 with a staggering 183 crimes on his record, can be heard in one clip saying, "This is on camera. I don't care, boy," as he encouraged his son's urination behavior. After 11 years in their home, the family that is finally had enough of his relentless harassment and decided to move. Police had said, you know what, you're just going to have to move.
And his son was able to squeege on command?
Yeah, he listened to his father.
Nice.
As for the nightmare neighbor, he was sentenced to 27 weeks in jail.
He sounds a little wound up, this guy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, so long, sucker.
And that poor kid, he might be screwed.
Yeah, he's got no chance.
Hopefully he can get past that childhood. And yet another bizarre food-related incident in the U.S., a 21-year-old woman was arrested for what the police called ravioli a la battery. Nakia Davis got so upset with her sister for refusing to share the food she brought home that things took a messy turn. After being denied a taste, Davis decided to launch a plate of ravioli at her sibling in retaliation. By the time police showed up at their Florida home, the victim still had ravioli sauce on her, proof of the culinary clash. Davis didn't deny it either. She admitted to tossing the ravioli, and the victim's boyfriend backed up that story.
Yeah, folks will cut loose once in a while. They will.
I'm passionate about leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
And it is frustrating if somebody wants to, or just takes your leftovers. But I've never thrown food at somebody. He's not facing charges, but a Whitewell, Tennessee cop lost his job after an investigation revealed he used his badge to sneak into a hospital and deliver a candy bar to a nurse who he didn't know. 26-year-old officer Tanner Jackson was fired July 26th after things took a weird turn. Earlier that day, police got a call from a woman who said Jackson wasn't just dropping off sweets, he was doing a bit of stalking.
Uh-oh.
According to the report, she told Jackson she was busy with a patient, but that didn't stop him. Instead, he parked his patrol car right in front of hers in the lot. Feeling uneasy, she asked a friend to move her car to the front of the hospital. But Jackson wasn't done. He followed the friend's car to the front in his patrol car, then casually drove off like nothing odd had just happened. And as if things weren't strange enough, he later started messaging her on social media. Internal Affairs confirmed Jackson's GPS showed he was at the hospital during all of that. In the end, he was fired for, quote, actions unbecoming of a police officer.
Oh, I'm glad they fired him.
Hey, Wample, with all your bad luck in relationships, have you considered stalking?
No.
Have you ever done a drive-by?
No.
Never once?
Nope.
Not at all, really?
No.
It's okay to admit if you have.
No, never.
I've done a drive-by.
Have you?
I picture Wapple as a big-time drive-by boyfriend.
I did it mostly like because I thought I was like in a movie and I was the main character. You know, like after you break up, you're like crying in my car. And I'm like, I used to go to that house all the time.
So, Wapple, you've never once driven by a girlfriend's house or a gal you were interested in just to see if she might be home, to see if her light was on?
Or if there's a strange car
see
in the
if there's a
driveway?
car in the driveway?
Well, okay, that's how I found out, not this last ex, but the ex before. That's how I found out she was cheating on me.
So you have done a drive-by, you sick stalker?
Yeah, I guess. When I wanted the truth, she wasn't giving it to me.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Total stalker.
Yeah, she said she was at her house, and I was already skeptical, and then I was like, okay, and I drove over. She wasn't there, and I said, all right, come to my house, grab all your stuff, we're done.
Dude, we get it. You're a stalker.
It goes to show you. All you have to do is ask somebody 3 times, and then they'll give you the truth.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. A 48-year-old Pennsylvania man convicted of killing his wife was booted from a courtroom last week for disrupting his sentencing hearing. Brian Giles told Judge Tamara Bernstein to get on with it and just give him his punishment for the murder of his wife.
Well, what's the hurry?
And then he said, "Oh, I'm so scared," which, if you're not familiar with sarcasm, means he's saying he's not scared and being a jerk about it.
What the hell? What is he, a 4th grader with that line?
However, if you're familiar with idiot wannabe tough guys, you know that he truly is scared and trying to look like a badass while crying on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
For his part, he claims he's being unfairly picked on.
If this is what they want to do, let them do it, man. I've been railroaded before. It's all good.
Yep.
What did he say?
He's been railroaded before. Go ahead.
Yes.
They want to accuse me of murder.
This is a guy who's been accused of murdering his wife.
And convicted, yes. Nancy Giles disappeared in October 2018. He told officers his wife fell in the shower, hit her head, and so all he did was just bury her body and not tell anyone.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
That's what happens.
Give a guy a break.
But then his stories kept changing, and he was found guilty in June of first-degree murder. Shockingly, the story took a major twist when a day before he was convicted in the most recent case, authorities found the remains of his 43-year-old girlfriend in his home, a woman who he lived with after Nancy Giles' disappearance.
Why did the 2 women in your life end up dead?
I don't know. You have to ask them.
I don't know if they can answer that from beyond the grave, dude.
Listen to this guy. This guy's hilarious.
It's one of those pretend tough guys, right?
Yeah.
Nothing gets me.
You'd have to ask them, if this is where you guys want to be, okay, fine, I guess. Go ahead.
He's going to be that guy that in his first night in jail is just sobbing.
Oh, God, yeah. Charges in the girlfriend's case are pending.
This guy's good.
Some sad news as Phil Donahue, the innovative TV host who rose to fame in the 1970s as the first to interact with a studio audience, died Sunday at 88.
Phil Donahue?
Yeah, I loved the Donahue show.
Did you?
Yeah, we used to watch that in the summers with my grandma. She loved him. At his peak, his show, The Phil Donahue Show, later renamed Donahue, was a ratings hit and a precursor to similar shows that followed. He focused on a single topic per show, and it was shot before a live studio audience. He would ask questions of his guests, and the audience would as well. The format was copied by everyone from Geraldo, Jerry Springer, Oprah Winfrey, who called Donahue a trailblazer.
Geraldo?
Yeah. Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah.
I liked him too, but boy, did he have a temper. Man, that guy could get pissed off. Remember when he took a chair to the face?
Yes, I do.
Oprah credited him for creating Smart Talk in the afternoon. Donahue's not only known for being the innovator of the popular daytime talk show format. In the 70s, Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top was watching the Phil Donahue Show, and he loved the disguised sound of a guest voice so much, he had one of the guys in the studio call the show and find out how it was done. The band ended up using the effect on Manic Mechanic.
Didn't Donahue have a famous wife as well?
Yeah, Marlo
Thomas.
Oh, for Christ, that girl. Mm-hmm. She was that girl. And they were married all this time, or?
I don't know.
He had 2 wives.
Yeah,
Marlo friggin' Thomas.
He met her on the show.
Yeah, they were flirting on the show, kind of quite famously.
Cute.
Phil Donahue had been suffering from a long illness, his family said. They didn't disclose the exact cause of his death.
Where are you drawing all this Donahue information from, Wapple? Do you also stalk his Wikipedia page?
No, I was cutting audio.
Oh, Marlo Thomas. I used to watch that girl as a kid. She's still around, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was a pretty lady.
She still looks pretty good, too.
If you were at one of last weekend's Metallica shows, you'd probably agree they leave a lasting impression with one heck of a rock show. But a Twin Cities nonprofit is feeling the love from Metallica for a totally different reason. People Serving People, the state's largest organization helping people and families experiencing homelessness, shared some big news on Instagram yesterday. Metallica made a generous $40,000 donation through their All Within My Hands Foundation. According to the nonprofit, most of their funding is earmarked for specific things like child care and family housing, but a gift like this from James, Lars, Kirk, and Rob gives them flexibility to address other pressing needs.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
30 years ago, they just would have drank a bottle of JD, took a dump in the hallway at the hotel, and left town. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty awesome. It was very cool how much they were involved in the community over the weekend.
Definitely.
A 37-year-old bus driver from New Jersey was arrested after going off on a passenger, putting him in a chokehold, and pummeling him during a wild, caught-on-camera brawl on a packed Newark bus Friday. The video's on 93x.com. Apparently, spitting on the driver mid-route was a massive mistake on the passenger's part. Footage shows the driver, Torrin Walker, pinning the guy by his neck before slamming him into the aisle. Walker then landed several punches to the passenger's head, yelling, "You effed up! What the F is wrong with you? You want to spit?"
What the F is wrong with you?
Cops eventually jumped on the bus and found Walker still going to town on the guy. He got cuffed and hit with aggravated assault charges. Luckily, the victim didn't suffer any serious injuries. He did spit on the guy. You should be able to get a couple of licks in, don't you think?
Yep.
Yeah, he got some good shots in, though.
New Jersey transit officials didn't get back to the Post right away about Walker's arrest.
There's a lot of comments saying free Walker.
The dude got spit on.
Yeah.
I mean, he did go a little crazy. I will admit that.
I might have went a little far, guys.
But he got spit on. Come on. You can't do that to a guy and not expect to get a couple of punches to the face. Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text BOAT, B-O-A-T, BOAT, to 651-989-9393 for a chance to win tickets to the 93X Rock the River Cruise, Friday, September 20th on Paddleford Riverboats. Free food from Lucky's 13, live music from Gel, and drinks on the river with the Half-Assed Morning Show. Oh, boy, what a time.
Yeah.
It's a fun event every year. Tickets on sale now at 93x.com. Prize provided by Paddleford Riverboats. Again, that text word is BOAT. Ryan Hartman of the Minnesota Wild turns 30 today. Limp Bizkit frontman Fred Durst, 54.
54.
Led Zeppelin's Robert Plant, 76. Happy birthday to Turtle. I like turtles. And happy birthday to Mosh Crusher Jesus from Denver Jesus. That's 93X News.
All-time great broadcaster and Minnesota Twins ambassador, Dick Bremer.
That's a heck of a call right there. Oh, my goodness gracious. There it goes!
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
It's that one a long way to left center field. Jackson Merrill has found the gap.
Profar and Cronenworth have scored. Bogarts is on his way. He's going to score a 3-run double. And Merrill Madness in San Diego.
Yeah, I was watching that 3-run double. What a jerk. Tuesdays are special for the Half-Ass Morning Show. Special for a few different reasons. Tuesdays, we get to talk Twins baseball with the damn mayor, Dick Bremer. Hello, Dick.
Good morning.
And, Dick, we got some high-class company otherwise. Of course, Randy Shaver. Yes, hello, Randy.
Good morning.
And also, the cutest couple in town. We got C. Willi Myles. Good morning, C.
Good morning.
Willi.
Good morning. Good morning.
And Janel Klein.
Good morning.
You two are so adorable together.
Love having you guys in.
What's new, Dick Bremer?
Watched a little bit of the Twins last night. They're taking on a really hot team in the Padres, but they lost a couple of games in a row, but they're just 3 games off the best record in baseball. So it's been a good season so far, and we'll look forward to an exciting finish.
You know, I did not know that. I did not know that they're only 3 games away from the best record in baseball. I've been paying maybe too close attention to the division and not looking at the big picture. That's incredible.
Well, the Yankees have the best record in the league, and I think the Phillies might be a percentage point or 2 ahead of them. But when you consider all the injuries that they've had, trying to win these games, a tough road trip, almost and probably should have swept the Rangers in a 4-game series down there, the defending world champs. But without Buxton and Correa, the lineup isn't the same. And now you've got 3 of the spots in the rotation filled by rookies, and we'll see if Bailey Ober can give them another consistent start as he has almost all year long tonight.
Randy Shaver, did you know that? They're only 3 games off the best record in baseball? I didn't know it. And it's even more impressive when you mention that they're missing Correa, they're missing Buck, other characters like that. That never would have dawned on me. You mentioned how hot the Padres are, 21-5 over the last month of games.
And they're actually only 3 games back of the Dodgers, who seem like they were running away with it.
You want the Dodgers to win, don't you, Randy? I can tell. You give me this vibe that you want the Dodgers to win.
No, I've never said that.
I know, it's a vibe.
I'm still pulling for the Marlins. I think the Marlins have a chance.
All right. Last night's final was 5-3 from San Diego, which I'm always told by people who visit San Diego that that's the best ballpark in all of Major League Baseball. And I'm trying not to take anything away from Target Field because I absolutely love everything about Target Field. But people tell me that have been to Petco Park, if they still call it Petco Park, I'm not sure. They say it's the best. What would you say to that, Dick Bremer?
It's right up there. I mean, it's one of the interesting things I was able to witness in my years with the Twins is how the baseball parks have been upgraded over that time from, what was in Baltimore Memorial Stadium to Camden Yards and Jack Murphy Stadium to what the Padres have now. It's an interesting situation they've got there. So many bars and restaurants right around the ballpark, and it's right up there. It's probably trying to look at it objectively, it's probably in the top 5, but I'd put Target Field in that top 5 too.
Mm-hmm. Anyone here ever been there? Petco Park?
No.
I have.
You have?
Yeah, I lived out.
Oh, you didn't? What did you get full of beer? I'm sorry, you don't drink.
No, I don't drink.
You smoke pot, and then you went to the... No. You been to a few Padres games?
Yeah, I paid $11 for a hot dog, but at the end of the day... and no, it's just a beautiful park.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been in the Dodger Stadium.
Okay.
And, so, yeah, a lot of the...
I suppose if Janel Klein, if you're ever in San Diego, you're on the shores of the Pacific Ocean with a typhoon on its way or something like that?
Mostly. I have been there, though, too.
Yeah, I hear great things. Zebby Matthews on the bump last night, the rookie. That was, I believe last night was only his second big league start. So he goes 5 runs, 2 of them earned. He had his own error in the third where he dropped a throw while covering first base. But this Zebby kid looks like he might have something or another to offer, right, Dick?
Yeah, I mean, but you've got Simeon Woods Richardson is going to pitch tomorrow. It's a tough situation the Twins are in because I think they thought they had a really good rotation that included Joe Ryan, and they did. But now I don't know whether Joe's going to pitch again this year. And so you've got 3 of those spots with Festa, filling out the roster or the rotation. Louis Varland started the other day and did okay, but you just don't know with these inexperienced pitchers. It's no reflection on them, and Zebby Matthews may win 100 games in the big leagues before it's all said and done. But here you are in late August now, and you've got September games coming up, and Twins are going to have to ride it out and see what they've got in these young pitchers.
Yeah, the Joe Ryan thing sucks. It really does.
I tell you what would look good right now is Sonny Gray in that rotation. It's just too bad, right? I mean, imagine if I think the Twins would have the best record in baseball if Sonny Gray was in that rotation.
How's Sonny doing this year with the Cardinals?
He's doing very well. He's having a very nice year.
Pretty much what he did with the Twins last year. But I mentioned Bailey Ober's name, and I think he's probably been the most underappreciated Twin this year because he has been outstanding for like 10 starts in a row, giving this lineup what it needs, which is just give us a chance to win, and we'll find a way to score enough runs. And I really believe he's been one of the most valuable and underappreciated Twins of the year.
No question about it, Dick Bremer. And you mentioned he's going to pitch tonight against Martin. Is that the Martin Perez that pitched here a few years ago?
Yep.
The lefty? Okay. All right. And you mentioned the 3 rookies now in the Twins pitching rotation.
And I have to mention one last thing.
Yes, Randy Shaver.
And Brad Ryder brought it up yesterday. Look out for the Royals.
Yeah.
They won again last night. They're dead tied with the Twins, 2.5 back of Cleveland. Who would have guessed that this division would be this kind of race where all 3 teams are among the best in the American League? It's crazy.
What do we do if all 3 teams are tied atop the? What do we do? What does Major League Baseball do?
Potato sack races to determine the winner.
And then, isn't there something? Don't they get an octagon in the mix too? Is there? Oh God, yeah. All 3 clubs playing well. Well, Cleveland was off last night, but you're right. We got a 3-team race, and it should be some pretty good stuff. 8:30 tonight on Bally Sports North. Game 2 of this Padres series. Twins didn't hit a home run last night. That ended a streak of 11. No, that doesn't. I think I have this. Ended a streak of 8 consecutive games with a dinger. So they did not go yard last night for the first time in quite a while. A question from a listener directed towards you, Dick Bremer. Your thoughts, your take on Terry Steinbach, according to a listener, is being inducted into the Oakland Athletics Hall of Fame. Oh, it happened last weekend.
Well-deserved. I always thought speaking of Bailey Ober, that Terry Steinbach was a very underappreciated member of those really good Oakland teams. And it's not Terry's fault, okay? But Jose Canseco was also inducted into the A's Hall of Fame last weekend. Hello. Could you have 2 more disparate personalities than Terry Steinbach and Jose Canseco? Terry's just a great, great guy. Very happy for him to be inducted into the, what are we going to call it in a few years? The Las Vegas A's Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Oh, man. I didn't know this was happening. That's really interesting. Janelle, is there anything you can tell us about your ex-boyfriend, Jose Canseco, that would change our overall opinion of him?
I feel like you guys are being really hard on him.
I'm sorry.
Still protected.
He has a good heart.
Let us know. Feel free to let us know. We have these preconceived ideas about the man. You know him better than the rest of us do. Oh, man.
My God. He has a good heart. I doubt it.
I was such an athletics hater. You know, we've talked about this kind of thing on and off whenever Dick joins the program. You know, being Twins fans, we're born and bred to hate the White Sox. And then again, back in the old American League West in the late 80s, early 90s, when the Twins and Athletics were both such great ball clubs. Oh, I hated the Athletics. Terry Steinbach was the one reason why I could tune into an Athletics game without vomiting, because I could not stand Canseco and McGuire just the name Carney Lansford would upset my stomach when I was a kid. But Terry Steinbach was, wow, I mean, what a terrific player, terrific guy.
Yep.
Well, great teams back then. They had, in that 5-year period, 87 to 91, the Twins or the A's not only won the American League West, but they won the American League and went to the World Series. The Twins obviously won in 87 and 91, and Oakland won in 89, the Earthquake Series. But when you were watching those two teams, they were very talented, but two great managers, too, in Tony La Russa and Tom Kelly. And that was pretty close to must-see, viewing if you were a baseball fan back then, because those teams were really, really good.
Yeah, they were. Those were great times, And the Athletics, they did have some players who I enjoyed watching. It was tough to watch them wear that uniform. Ricky and Dave Henderson were awesome. Dave Stewart was awesome. Dennis Eckersley was awesome. But it would grate it at me to see them win and win and win. So there you go. Congratulations to Terry Steinbach. That's hilarious that he was put up the same day as Jose Canseco. Oh, man. All right, so we're talking about this club, despite injury problems, the Twins I'm speaking of, and everything. The level of competition in their division is fierce, more fierce than we thought it would be, but look at the spot that they're in. They're 2.5 games out of first, which made it not surprising, but even more interesting to read an article on a website called MinnesotaSportsFan.com. And the title of the article is "Some Twins Fans Should Seek Therapy for Their Unwarranted Rocco Baldelli Hatred." Now, I know that being the skipper, it comes with the territory. There are people who are going to question every single move that they make. But does anyone notice that the Rocco stuff is a little louder than maybe you expected it to be? The Rocco and the anti-Rocco. I hear it at the bars a lot. I don't understand it. Does anyone else hear that kind of thing around town?
No.
You don't?
No.
Actually, no.
I do.
Do all right, Rocco.
I do. And it bothers me. What is this, Dick Bremer? I mean, is this just, like I said, it just comes with the territory?
Well, it does. I was watching some of the Twins last night, watching some of the Democratic convention. They had Steve Kerr on, and who knows more about basketball than Steve Kerr, but he talked about being second-guessed by people on social media for how he coaches his basketball team. And it's like, well, everybody gets it at that level, right? And I think one of the reasons that Rocco has been getting so much criticism from those he has gotten criticism from is it's not just him, but it was the whole new approach that he and most current managers now take when it comes to managing a game, managing a bullpen, platooning, all of that, and it's all because of analytics. Right. And if Bailey Ober goes through 5 innings and looks like he's sailing through, but it's the middle of the Padre lineup coming up in the 6th, and now arms that weren't available last night are available tonight, they'll go ahead and make the move, even when, the traditional fans who saw managers leave starters in maybe an inning too late instead of pulling them an inning too early. It's been quite a departure, and that's just an example of how the game has changed and how managing it has changed over the last few years.
Mm-hmm. And the type of pitches that these guys are throwing, and at the speed.
Yeah, arms are going to fail.
Arms are going to fail.
Yeah,
I mean that's why he's a manager.
Right. I just had to throw it out there and see if anyone had any thoughts on it. I really enjoy watching Rocco's post-game press conferences. He's a thoughtful, smart guy who gets it. He's a competitor. I like everything that I've ever seen from Rocco. Here's my only complaint about Rocco Baldelli. I wish he was more fiery.
Rocco! Yeah, definitely.
There's something about, I want my manager to be kind of an unhinged maniac.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why you like Gardy so much.
Exactly.
You see his red face?
Red? Yeah.
He knew he meant business.
But I say that about every man. I like a manager who will race out of the dugout looking like he was just cut loose from detox. You know what I mean?
2 days.
Well, we talked about Tom Kelly's name a little while ago, and in his entire tenure with the Twins, it started late in '86, he was thrown out of 2 games. That was it.
That's crazy.
Ernie would do that in a week.
Yeah. So, we don't need to dwell on this. I just, like I said, I wanted to throw it up. Here's something another stat that I did not know. The Twins have been a better team under Rocco Baldelli than any other manager in team history not to win a World Series. Wow. If that means anything to you. I like the guy, and I know with social media, it's so much easier to spit negative things out into the atmosphere, but I like the guy, and I do hear him second-guessed Rocco Baldelli constantly.
I also think that there's criticism of the Twins' ownership, and I think some of that trickles down to him too. It's not his fault.
You're right,
but I think the fan base gets somewhat upset when they look around at trade deadline and maybe they don't make a deal, or they lose a Sonny Gray, and now they're watching Simeon Richardson pitch as opposed to a Sonny Gray, and some of that backlash ends up on right or wrong ends up on Rocco as well. So,
and I'm forgetting something that someone just texted in. There still might be some hurt feelings that he took Paul Molitor's job.
That may be true. Sure.
And, the idea is somehow Rocky.
Again, it wasn't his fault.
Right. Somehow Rocco said, well, I'm going to take Paul Molitor's job. That's not how it works. So I forget about Paul Molitor's a friggin' god in my eyes, so I get that if there's some butthurt feelings, but it's not Rocco that's, kicked his ass out the door.
Yeah, that job came available.
And the underlying factor that no one really discusses, you look in Twins history, and the managers they've had, including Tom Kelly, including Ron Gardenhire, including Paul Molitor, they had a Twins connection prior to being named the manager. And here's this guy, Rocco Baldelli, pretty good player. Injuries, illness kind of kept him from having the full playing career that he would have liked. But he came from outside the organization. And that's, I think, one reason why the cynics have a little more appetite, if you will, for leveling some criticism, because he really wasn't, I hate to use the term one of us, but he didn't manage, and he didn't play for the Twins. He didn't manage in the minor leagues. He wasn't third base coach before he was named manager like Ron Gardenhire. So I think that's a big part of it too.
No,
that's another good point, Dick. Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, Ray Miller was along those same lines too. Ray Miller.
That didn't work out very well.
No, did not work out very well. But he's the only one that I can think of. Correct me if I'm wrong, is he that, at least since I've been around, because Billy Gardner was already here when I walked in the doors here. So I think Ray Miller was the only other one who was hired outside the organization. Am I right about that?
You probably have to go back to Gene Mauch, who came from outside, but he had the resume of being a long-term major league manager before he came to the Twins.
Right.
Here's a perfect text from below average attorney, above average. Well, I'll just call him for now. I'll just call him below average attorney Jesus. He says, I have friends who criticize Rocco for having too quick of a hook, and now he's now texting in capital letters. Even though Twin starters were second in big league baseball in innings pitched last year. He says fans get something in their head and they never get over it despite all the evidence to the contrary.
It's a very good point.
There you friggin' go. All right, Dick Bremer, the Twins have announced the return of another Bark at the Park day. I think they should, every home game, dogs and cats should be allowed. Who's with me?
Yes.
Well, my son's a minor league broadcaster, and his team, the Pensacola Blue Wahoos, they had a cat night. A couple of weeks ago. Yeah, that, and I don't know that they're going to do it again. But having dogs and cats together might not be a good idea.
That's a good point.
That'd be awesome.
I love it when the Saints do it.
I mean, dogs. What do they do? We love them to death, right? But one of the things that they almost all do is they like to go fetch things. And I keep waiting for somebody to hit a ground ball and a dog run out of the stands and try to pick it up and retrieve it.
I mean, we would have tears in our eyes. We would.
Yeah.
Cubby, you've been to the Saints dog games?
Oh, it's great. We're going to go to the Twins one. Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
It's on August. Nope, that's not correct. It's on September 24th. It's a 6:40 game Tuesday night against the Miami Marlins. There's your ball club there, Randy. Miami coming to town in the end of September. Bark at the Park Day. No cats, just dogs.
Or you take your dog to when he's got to poop.
They have a designated area for that, see Willi Myles.
Oh, my God.
I was excited for
it's
this.
in your
It's the
parking
visitor's
spot.
dugout.
Oh, the visitor.
I was excited for this until I learned that it's like only one section of the ballpark. It's not the whole ballpark. It's like a very limited amount
I think
of
it's
seating.
2 sections, but yeah.
That also disappointed me. I'd like to think that I could run into an old worn-out lab up in the upper deck if I wanted to, but it's only a couple of sections. You got to buy a special ticket and all that, but it's always fun. And part of the money from the Bark at the Park ticket package will be given to a joint called Can Do Canines, which provides assistance dogs to those with disabilities.
They even have vets there and everything in case something goes wrong. They're ready.
Oh, yeah, he's not kidding. There'll be veterinarians at the ball game.
I'm sure they should have, dog psychologists. I'm sure dogs are sitting there going, why am I here? You're throwing balls. You're holding me down. And this is what I do.
Yeah, you're right. Dick kind of mentioned that's probably torture for a dog, isn't it?
There will be veterinarians on site in case kennel cough spreads through the ballpark or something. All right. Did your son say that cat night was mayhem, Dick Bremer?
No, it just when you have dogs there, you're going to hear them bark. I mean, cats aren't going to meow at a ball game. There's no audible sense that the cats are even there. So.
They just kind of stare and judge.
Right.
Big time.
Trust them.
Very judgmental.
And again, why am I here?
And they do wonder probably why
am I here?
They plot your death.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's the look at least a lot of cats have. They have a look on their faces if they're thinking, I could yank an artery out of your thigh right now. And
right now.
Nick, would you be interested in a cougar night if the Twins were to host one?
At this point, Josh,
Yep.
How about Sabretooth?
Oh, even then, okay. Sure, why not?
Oh, wow. How about a bittersweet kind of a thing here for you? I missed all of the Little League World Series coverage, or is it still going?
It's still going.
Still going.
Oh, still going.
Okay, it's still going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it goes into September, right?
I think it stops at Labor Day.
Okay. I've never been a big Little League World Series guy. But anyway, here's a little bittersweet story for you. A 98-year-old man died one day after living out his dream of tossing out a first pitch at this year's Little League World Series.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Strange, the man's name is Dick Hauser, who was the old manager for the Kansas City Royals back in the day. He's been dead for years. Different Dick Hauser, obviously. 98-year-old guy. He was one of the first ever Little Leaguers from the inaugural 1939 Little League World Series, from what I have in front of me here. Played for a local club near Williamsport, Pennsylvania in the late 30s. Went on to play semi-pro ball. Coached his kids in Little League in the same general area. Made a point to gather his family together each summer to go watch the Little League. So then they invited him to throw out a first pitch. He did it. The next day, he died.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy how stuff like that can happen.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to make a certain milestone, and then once they do, they're just done.
Yeah. I mean, that's really a wonderful story when you think about it.
Sad but cool.
My goodness. You been there a few times, Dick Bremer, the Little League World Series, or you're always busy working?
Yeah, no, I've never been there. I've enjoyed watching it. I can't help be envious because when I played Little League baseball, we didn't have uniforms. We wore jeans and T-shirts. Blattner Furniture was my Little League team.
He's right. So did we.
Well, yeah, my first year of T-ball, we just wore our regular pants and a T-shirt. Right, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's sad.
So what do you suppose this guy was wearing in 1939? They put him in a paper bag in 1939.
Full suit.
Yeah.
I was fortunate when I played Little League Baseball in Mobile. We had Willi Myles and KARE bought our uniforms.
Oh, cool.
And Cleon Jones, because Cleon grew up in Plateau, right in the city where we played Little League.
So you guys look sharp.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We were all the same team, though, just different colored jerseys.
We look like the team was formed in the parking lot.
It's like a beer league game.
Yeah. So that's a great story. The guy threw out the first pitch. Oh, wow. How do you want to go out, Josh? You got any ideas?
I don't know yet.
All right.
It's a good question. Hopefully it's going to be a little while here.
Oh, good news for you, Randy Shaver. The Pirates don't plan on shutting down Paul Skeens, okay?
Well, I was hoping not.
Well,
Why would they?
well, because he's young and they don't want to break his arm before, they feel like the team is ready, right? Okay, I mean, you've heard of this kind of thing before.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the Pirates feel like they still have a chance to do anything. They're only 8 games under 500. They got a long way to go, but Skeens has had a really good year. Not as sharp in the second half as he was in the first half, but still pretty good. I saw a picture the other day of Paul Skeens. He had met Reggie Jackson for the first time, and they were standing next to each other. My God, Reggie Jackson did he shrink, or was he really a small guy? Jackson looks like he's like 5'9". Is that really all he is?
It's about that, yeah. TV just made it look big.
Wow, what you telling
uniform.
me? Really, honestly?
I guess I always thought Reggie Jackson was taller than that.
Well, tell me what his real height is. I would assume 6 feet.
Boy, he doesn't look like he's 6 foot.
I would assumed him to be 6'3" or 6'4".
Standing next to Paul Skeens, he looks like he's like 5'8".
Yeah, he's a little older, and you shrink a little bit when you.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you know who else was in the picture, but you didn't even see him? Spanky LaValliere was in the picture as well. And only C. Willie and Dick and Randy get that joke. I would have thought that Reggie Jackson was a bigger guy. So you can continue to watch your guy Paul Skeens, Randy.
Good.
All right.
I think he's tremendous.
All right. Dick Bremer, thanks again, and enjoy tonight's ball game.
We will do this again next week.
We will, and we look forward to it. Thank you, Dick Bremer. Every Tuesday, you bet. Every Tuesday, Dick Bremer joins us to talk about.
He must be getting close to his playoff time in his leagues.
Oh, Christ! We forgot to ask him about it.
We should have asked him how much more baseball he's got left for this season.
We'll get on his case next week.
He's still swinging.
Oh, yeah. He's playing in a men's over 65 or over 60.
Over 60. Yeah. Are you thinking about it?
He's pitching.
God, no.
Pitching.
I gave up everything except for golf.
Yeah, you still golf.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything else, man. I'm not risking it. I've made it through my whole life without any type of surgeries. I don't want to break nothing. I don't want to slip nothing. I don't swing that hard. I mean, I got like a 74 mile an hour swing speed.
You picked the right sport if you don't want to hurt yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I told my wife. Man, I quit flag football when I was like 35. I quit playing softball. I played one game of over 40 and over softball, and a guy slid into me like he was trying to take me out.
Yeah.
I'm like, bruh, we're not going to the league.
Yeah, there's hard-ons out there that they'll spike you.
I took my jersey off and never came back. I was like, I did this already in my 20s. I'm done.
No wonder you look so damn good.
Hey, thank you.
You always are dressed as if you're minutes away from teeing off.
I'm actually I am going to the Greg Coleman golf tournament right after this. I'm heading up to Bunker.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see some old friends.
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yeah, that's all I do all summer. That's why I don't work much. Well, this summer's been crazy. I have a crazy tour schedule this summer. But I fit in these charity golf tournaments. They're important, man. They raise money for good causes.
What a life. What a life. Guy goes golfing, tells a few jokes.
That's it. Isn't that the truth? Yeah. Play just good enough to get invited to the tournaments. You know what I mean? That's all. It's just good enough. And then dress really nice, and so you make, just add it.
Randy, do you consider that when you put together your golf tournament? Do you look at a list and say, well, this guy sucks, I'm not inviting him? Sucks at golf is what I mean by that.
Sucks at golf? No, I don't care about whether they're good at golf or not. I just want them to have fun.
What was that face that Janelle just made?
I was going to say clearly not.
No,
so I'm
excited. I almost said Shaver. She's sitting right next to me. Don't say that.
You get invited every year, and are you saying you're not the greatest golfer?
Oh, my God, I'm terrible. Terrible.
But the thing, I think, number one thing, and that was the same when I had my foundation, too. I don't care if you suck at golf. Just be nice to the people that you're golfing with.
That's right.
Just be pleasant. And she's
have fun.
always super nice. I always see the groups that she plays with. And
Yeah, I want to be around Janelle when she's not nice.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
I've seen you in situations where you should be angry and you're still not angry.
You should have saw it just a little bit ago. We walked in the door and she couldn't find the fob to get in here, man. I thought I was going to have to back up 2 or 3 steps.
I've never seen that
He's
study.
full of it. He is full of it.
I want to be around Janelle when she's had a few too many drinks and she comes uncorked over something.
Just telling everyone to F off.
All right.
See it.
Now, I can't wait to share this information with all of you. Randy Shaver, Janel Klein, C. Willi Myles. This is the way I set it up earlier. Do any or all of the three of you, do you believe in signs or omens? You see something and it means good, or you see something and it means bad, anything like that?
Oh, I do.
Like a black cat crosses your path.
That's
like
a good
that kind of
example.
thing?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't believe it.
Not really.
See, Willie, you do? I bet that's because you come from the South.
Yes.
Folks in the South believe in all kinds of... Go ahead. Give us, what kind of signs and omens have you seen or that you've experienced?
I mean, I would tell you, when I decided where I was going to go to college, I mean, it was a huge... I visited some very good schools that had some really good history.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where you get a phone call just out of the blue from a college you've never heard of and saying things to you that no one else is saying to you. And I took a leap of faith and said, that's the school I want to go to. That's the coach I want to be associated with.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that, turned down all the offers I had down south, and decided to go to St. Cloud State.
St. Cloud State.
And I'm telling
From
you.
Mobile, Alabama.
Absolutely. Athletically, the worst decision I ever made in my entire life.
Yeah.
But socially, economically, and personally, knowing what I know today, and if I knew that back then, I'd still do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I really would. And I think it was just one of those things where I got a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, yeah, you know what? I want to make a huge change. I'm like, this is going to be good. This is a good sign. Because I had been to, Grambling, I had been to Alabama State, and I'd been to, Clark College, all these schools that I thought was good, would fit me. And then all of a sudden, I just made it. And St. Cloud State, don't get me wrong, it was great. I had an absolute good time there. It just wasn't the right fit for me athletically, but I made it work.
You could have played for Eddie Robinson?
For free.
For free.
Eddie Robinson was not giving me a scholarship.
Okay, right. At Grambling University, of course. Yeah,
saying that it was, you're basically the story was you're poor enough, or you can get financial aid.
Okay,
and I'm
right.
like, but my coach told me you're good enough to get a scholarship. Don't let nobody put you on financial aid.
Sure,
you're a scholarship player. So.
If you're the type of person who believes in signs and omens, this is a 100% true story. When we all walked into work this morning, right outside this door, not the front door of the building, the door to walk in the studio, right outside that door, there was a big, fat, hard pile of dog feces.
Whoa.
Janelle's face.
What? Yeah. What? Right outside the studio door.
What? On the carpeting, right outside our studio door, a dog had left a fat one. For us.
How do you know it was a dog?
Yeah.
Well, God help us. I
was pretty mad this morning.
I'm 99.9%. We've all seen a pile of dog feces before.
And we have a coworker who brings his dog in quite often.
Wow.
So we're all wondering.
It's good symbolism for the condition of this building.
It really is. Just when you thought this building couldn't become more of a trash can.
What?
Someone's dog.
Who cleaned it up?
I don't know.
Well, I went out there to clean it up. I left it there because I wanted Nick specifically to see it.
Yeah.
When he walked, because it's not the same if I just tell him, hey, there was dog. I wanted him to see it.
Right.
So after he got here, I went out. Somebody cleaned it up. I think the dude that owns the dog went, whoops, and cleaned it up.
Yep. And what does it say about this building that I didn't even notice it? Josh had to point out to me that there was poop on the floor.
I think it's more what time we get here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you were half dead.
I can't believe I
that was
just
pretty funny.
wasted a good story My life
Oh,
story.
it was an inspiring story.
Set up the dog poop.
At the front door, man. I thought you saw a sign.
See, Willi Myles, I came close to interrupting you a couple times and saying, look, I'm just trying to set up a story about dog feces.
Give me something else. I should have had a knock-knock joke ready or something.
Your story was so inspiring.
It was.
That I think it helped set up the situation even better than I thought it would.
To show how much more successful you've been in life than the rest of us who are working at a place with dog poop on the floor.
Next to you, we are dog crap.
Shaver, get me out of here.
We're not sure. I mean, none of us are big believers in signs or omens, but if we were, we'd be terrified right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Josh and I did discuss, a couple of jokes we could have gone with. I considered writing a note and leaving it next, because, right next to us are the KQ studios. KQRS has their morning show. I considered leaving a note that said, hey, KQ, your ratings are out here. Come pick them up.
Whoa!
I didn't do that because I don't. People get sensitive. I didn't want to start any trouble.
It was very big of you to not say that.
He would never say such a thing.
No.
Yes.
He's a gentleman.
That's too funny.
I'm glad we got it cleaned up before you folks showed up, because you're, like I said, you're classy company, and I would hate for you to think that that's how we live.
Right.
Are you guys going to say something to the dog owner?
I don't think there's anything that we could say that he probably hasn't already said to himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh? Are you going to pull him aside and say?
No. Obviously, he seemed pretty embarrassed by it. I rubbed his nose in it, the dog owner.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Take the dog owner and rub their nose in it?
Right.
Oh, man. All right. What else do we have going on? Yes, Randy Shaver.
Beautiful story, and then it ends up like that. That's hilarious.
What, see Willie's? I didn't know. He got deep on us. What was I supposed to do?
I know, it was awesome. And then you
end it with name dropping or nothing, and then he brought up Eddie Robinson. Then I had to go ugly on him.
That's ends up with dog poop.
And it did end up with dog poop at the front door. He said.
When did that happen to you, Josh?
When we had to put our dog down a couple weeks ago, you asked me about it. It was very difficult. I didn't even know it was going to come up on the air. It sucked. We were pretty emotional, and it was to set up a story about favorite cartoon dogs. We got into the topic of dogs.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't even notice that when it happened.
And I thought, wait a minute. We used that to move on to cartoon dogs?
Oh, God, yeah, we did. I didn't mean to come off insensitive.
Who is the producer of this show?
Dana!
My bad.
That's right. We did do that. I said, hey, don't you have a dog that's going to die here soon? And Josh said, yes. And then I went on to say, so,
Scooby,
did you like Marmaduke? What do you think about this? Tua Tagovailoa, however the hell you say his name, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, has gone ahead and called Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores a, quote, terrible person.
To put it in simplest terms, if you woke up every morning and I told you you suck at what you did, that you don't belong doing what you do, that you shouldn't be here, that this guy should be here, that you haven't earned this right, and then you have somebody else come in and tell you, dude, you are the best fit for this. You are accurate. You are the best whatever. You are this, you are that. How would it make you feel listening to one or the other?
That's the voice of Tua right there. He doesn't like that Brian Flores guy at all. He calls him a terrible person, blames him for wrecking his confidence. He said that Flores constantly told him that he sucked and that he didn't belong and all that. That's funny. That's funny.
I don't particularly have a comment on, something that took place with another team, but I can just tell you I know the players Flo works with. He's got great relationships here. He really has. I know you guys have heard a lot of them talk about how much they enjoy playing for him and how much I enjoy working with him every day. And that's all I can really comment on, and I just like to leave it at that.
Is that Kevin O'Cornberry?
O'Connell, yeah.
Flores coached Tua back in the day in Miami. Yeah.
I would say it's a little bit different mindset when you're the head coach as opposed to being the defensive coordinator, because as the coordinator, you're working for another person as a head coach. And as the head coach, you are, you set the tone for the organization, supposedly. It's a tough situation when you're a young quarterback like Tua. Confidence, I would say, at that position as a young person is probably more important than maybe anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand how he would be upset if every day the coach was questioning his talent and questioning decision-making and all of those kind of things. It can wear on you. Having watched this, and I can't remember the Miami coach's name, the head coach, but he is a total...
Mike McDaniel or something like that?
Mike McDaniels. Having seen him on, some shows, I can see why those two fit well, because his personality appears to be totally different than what Flores was in Miami.
Some of you might be saying, being told that you're not good enough, that doesn't sound like a coach. That sounds like a parent.
And they're running a totally different offense under Mike as well.
Okay, so, Tua's dealing with.
He fits great with that style of offense that he has. I mean, and then of course, then they bring in Tyreek Hill, so that.
Brian Flores is a
defensive, exactly.
Right, Brian Flores is a defensive guy, so I'm sure he had. I don't know who his offensive coordinator was for him when he was the head coach, but I mean, there are just some coaches that are hard on players. I mean,
they do the tough guy bit.
Mike Zimmer was a tough guy here with the Vikings.
Bud Grant.
He rubbed people the wrong. Well, Bud Grant was a sneaky tough guy. I would say Bud Grant, from my understanding, Bud Grant would be direct, but he would also be subtle at it too.
He wasn't loud about it. Janel Klein,
yes,
did anyone
wasn't loud about it?
As you were climbing the ladder to television stardom, was there ever anyone who told you weren't good enough?
No, but I did have a boss like that once who he wanted us all to kind of compete.
Yeah.
He wanted this kind of I don't know what you want to say, tough atmosphere in the newsroom. Like you should try to beat your coworkers. Don't cooperate. Don't be friends. That kind of thing.
Right.
Which I don't. To me, that's the.
Boy, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
It makes no sense.
He tried to create. Yeah, I see where he was going with that, but that's kind of silly.
Collaboration makes great news.
Janel, maybe he felt like people weren't working hard enough, and if they competed against each other for stories or breaking news or whatever, that you would produce more. But sometimes that stuff backfires like
toxic.
That too.
Oh yeah, sometimes on some of the TV news shows, especially more of the talk ones, or even some morning shows, you can tell they hate each other's guts.
Oh yeah.
And some of them are very good at hiding it. I mean, there was a show in town, like a very happy show, where somebody that used to work here went over to work there and said they don't even talk off the air. They can't be in the same room. It's
crazy.
I would prefer that.
That's why I work alone.
Some bosses, they need a fresh pile of dog feces right outside their office door. Send a friggin' message.
Right.
This Tua kid, we're talking about this Tua quarterback for the Dolphins. He calls the Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores, who was his former head coach. He calls him a terrible person. A couple of our listeners have texted in to call Tua a snag, which stands for sensitive new age guy. I haven't heard that one before.
Mike McDaniel, he's a different type of guy, too. Did you guys watch Hard Knocks?
Well, he's funny.
Yeah, he is pretty funny.
He's different.
Very snarky. He's not what you'd expect a head coach to be. My stepdaughter described him as the type of kid that hung out with the popular crowd, but only because he's the only one that had a pool.
Yes.
Yep. He just kind of seems like that. Like he kind of is like, hey, I'm hanging out with all the cool jocks, because I'm the head coach.
Is he the guy who wears capri pants
and he vapes on the sideline?
Sucks on a vape rod on the sideline? Yeah. He's cute.
Yeah, he's pretty funny, actually.
All right, one more here.
Different.
And I'm glad earlier, Willi Myles, one of our guests in studio, along with Jungle Jane, Janel Klein, you said something about flag football. What were you saying about flag football?
No, I said I quit playing flag.
Quit playing flag
And you say
football.
you're 30-something?
I was 35.
35.
Okay.
Yeah, I hung it up.
Now, that's interesting, and it blends right in. There's no real reason to already be discussing what might happen at the next set of Summer Olympics. That's not till 20 plus 28. For God's sake, some of us will be dead by then. But there's a big-time flag football quarterback who's been out there playing the game for years, trying to push it into the mainstream, and he says it's, quote, disrespectful that NFL players think they're just going to waltz in and take his gig. He goes by the name of Darrell Doucette. He's established himself in the flag football community. He's won national and international titles for Team USA in recent years, and he's ready to fight for his spot. They, meaning NFL quarterbacks, just automatically assume they're able to join the Olympic team because of the person that they are. They didn't help grow this game to get it to the Olympics. Give the guys who helped this game get it to where it's at their respect. I agree with the dude.
Absolutely.
And I personally, I think I'd rather see some dude who's played 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, doesn't matter. I'd like to see some dude who's a lifer at flag football represent the United States in the Olympics more than I want to see Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts or friggin' Joe Burrow. Sorry, Janelle, I know he's your little chew toy. But I'd rather see a lifer, a dude get the spotlight on him that's never had it before, right?
Right.
Who's with me?
I love that.
I agree.
Okay.
I would say the NFL likely would not allow any of their players to take part in the Olympics.
Oh, I thought they were leaning towards it.
No.
Oh, I'd be surprised.
Oh, okay.
No, they wouldn't want to do that.
I would be surprised. A, it's in August during training camp.
Right.
And B, the risk of injury
Greatly increase.
If you're paying somebody, multi-million dollars to play quarterback or running back in the league and they get hurt in the Olympics.
Oh, well, I'm sorry I blew up. I thought it was almost a half done deal already that the NFL was going to allow these schmucks to play in the. Janel Klein, have you been watching a lot of Joe Burrow footage this preseason?
Not yet.
No.
But if he
She's
wants
saving herself.
Exactly. He could go to the Olympics and just be on the sidelines.
I'd love to see him there.
What do you mean? He's just hanging around like friggin' Snoop Dogg did?
Oh, wouldn't you like to see him in some sort of swimming event where he's totally shaven?
Oh, my God.
Hello.
Those friggin' trunks that they wear, my God.
Oh, yeah. Very revealing.
You just want them. You
Wasn't it that French guy that made news?
The big old bulge.
He was disgusting.
That wasn't right. That shouldn't exist in real life.
All right. You don't care how you see Joe Burrow. You just want to see him.
He could smoke a cigar. I always said that's the coolest I ever saw him look.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Smoking his cigar there when he won the national title. Janelle was there. All right, Randy Shaver. There you friggin' go, son.
Randy, we'll see you at the fair.
Oh, yeah. He'll be up there every day.
The other dried dog turd that we know around here, Randy Shaver.
Although I wonder if you'd like it now that you don't have to work, Randy. Different vibe.
As I said, I'm going out there on Saturday.
You are?
Well, for Nate Bargatze.
Oh,
so I'm not doing anything other
Nate's
than
funny. That's you don't love that shit.
I'm the only guy in town who's never heard of this friggin' guy.
Yeah. You are.
This has become the Nate Bargatze morning show here the last few days. Never heard of the guy.
He's
Randy,
very funny, and I think just his stories are just incredible.
I'm familiar with the name. I've never seen him. I'd imagine he's got a special somewhere. I'm
Bunch
sure I
of
can find him on
them.
YouTube.
All
Pretty
over
sure
the place.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Do they?
He's one of the. People always ask me all the time, like, who do you like and stuff. And when I say their name, they would go like, I don't know. I mean, just because you just look at the crazy crap. I love like great entertainment. That dude is funny.
Have you played a show with him?
No,
haven't yet?
we've crossed paths, but I've never done it.
Randy Shaver, maybe Saturday before the Blake Berlazzi program. Go to Coasters and ask
Coasters.
him
Okay.
the bar there and along the beer garden area there, and ask him if you can do the grease lightning thing.
That would be awesome.
You know the grease lightning? You probably don't even know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking
They
about.
play Grease Lightning from the Grease soundtrack every hour, and everyone on staff dances, and it's a riot.
Are you going to get your milkshake? You love the milkshakes out there.
Probably, and that's probably about all I'll do.
I was going to say maybe a special autograph session for you at the KARE 11 barn.
Yeah.
You know what? It sounds like you've been hanging out with Wapple too much.
Did you know Wapple's got his own T-shirt at the fair this year?
Oh, Janelle, you're going to love it.
Janelle, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
Go on 93x.com.
Janelle, I'm going to buy you one.
Yep.
I'm going to buy you one of those shirts.
Like they said this morning, they gave me a shirt so I'd shut up about a raise around here.
Did it work?
I think we kind of took the wind out of his sails. He was over there touching himself this morning because he's got his own T-shirt that's going to be sold at the fair, and Josh and I kind of had to lay the truth on him that this is in lieu of a single dime.
Yeah, I've only been trying for a raise for 5 years around.
Hey, dude, you're preaching to the choir. We've told you before what Nick and I got when we asked business cards.
Yep. Yeah, I got a cubicle over there, and now they took it down.
Yeah,
now I don't have anything.
I do hope the T-shirt sells well because I am the one member of the show who does get some
royalty
compensation. So does that sting even worse, Wapple, knowing that I'm going to probably buy a boat because of this?
At least someone's getting something.
Yeah.
And again, let's say you want a Wapple shirt. Yeah. They're just going to hand that to you?
Oh, no, I got to pay full price.
You got to pay full price. That's awesome.
And all the pictures were taken by me, too.
It is kind of a mean. It really is kind of a
lawyer, man.
It's a cold-blooded move by management. It really is to give Wapple a T-shirt instead of just another few bucks every month or so. But I do like the looks of it because what it reminds me of, Wapple, is like an AEW wrestler shirt.
Yep.
Where you see the character and then little smaller pictures of. Anyway.
Different moments.
Like a wrestler, you might see their face, and then there's a smaller picture of them dropping a leg and a smaller picture of them going off the top rope. It does kind of look AEW-ish, so it is fitting for you, and again, is probably going to buy me a new sidewalk.
What do you think, Janelle? You're looking at the picture.
Those are some hot photos.
Yeah.
Whoa, have you ever been called hot before, Wapple?
I don't think so.
No.
Look out,
I don't think so.
Ladies of the Minnesota State Fair.
Josh had a good question earlier. Wasn't it you, Josh, that asked him, or not didn't really ask Wapple, but you just threw out the thought of what thrift shops are going to look like in a couple of years?
Yeah, it's going to be all around Goodwill.
That's the thing. I was saying that I look forward to a year from now when people start sending us pictures with a 15-cent price tag.
Maybe
Wapple shirts.
Maybe Goodwill can bundle my shot glass mug and then T-shirt together for like $10.
Yeah.
A couple listeners are reminding us that the T-shirt isn't all that you got. You also got gonorrhea. We got to get going. Randy Shaver, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
See ya.
Thanks, buddy. We'll be back with more from C. Willi and Janel Klein here in a few minutes.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
We see money inefficiency, OG, around us all the time. We've got a few skeletons sitting out in the open, and maybe we need to broom them into the closet, if you know what I mean.
Nope, take that out.
What is...
Whatever you were going for didn't land right. Who's got a shovel and some lime?
Maybe you need to do that with your financial picture. I don't know.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, welcome back to the program. What a hell of a deal. Our pals are in studio. Stand-up comic C. Willi Myles.
Boom.
Television heartthrob Janel Klein. Always a pleasure. There were dried dog turds, day-old dog turds outside our studio door this morning.
Wow.
Not the door to get in the building, the door to get into this radio studio that we're broadcasting from.
Right on the carpet.
True story, right on the carpet.
carpet. That's forever.
Did we take a picture of it so we could put it up on our website, or did anyone have
Oh, that would have been a great idea.
Didn't even consider it.
All right, if you want to continue with the gross theme, I enjoy it. I do. Well, usually. Josh, C. Willi Myles, you've both raised children.
Yes.
You know gross things.
Yes.
I bet, because of that experience. Can you give us the grossest experience you had as a father? Or is it yet to come, you think? Are you still dreading the...
Oh, no. My
Your kids are grown.
Yeah, but I don't want to give you another story. You just broke me down the last time, man. I don't know where you're going.
But now you know where we're going with this, yes. Now you know where we're going with this.
Well, I mean, like most fathers, I was a hands-on father in terms of, changing diapers and giving my kids baths and stuff like that. But there's no greater feeling than get your kid all washed and dried up, and then you just feel like the front of your shirt is getting wet and your son is just peeing down.
God, no.
And it's just a warm sensation, and then it just you look and you look at his eyes, and he has no idea what's going on because he's a baby,
right?
But then he looks at me, and it's almost like he figured it out, and he smiled. It's a shirt I gotta throw away, bruh.
Right after you got him cleaned up. He ruins a T-shirt for you.
And we had a moment, where he was all dried. I had him wrapped up in the towel, and I stood him up. I was going to put this little T-shirt on. All of a sudden, I felt my shirt. I thought it was just from the wet from the towel.
Yeah.
And it got warm, and it kept getting warm. I'm like, why is your pee so hot?
And he had a
Baby pee is like devilishly hot.
Had a satisfied look on his face.
Exactly.
And he moved on with his life.
Oh, yeah.
Yours came to a halt for a moment.
There,
yeah.
it ended.
See, Willie, have you heard of the TP? It's P-E-E. It's this little, it looks like a jock strap, basically, or the cup that you put on your son.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so when you're changing a diaper or whatever, he doesn't get you.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
A friend of ours had one of those. I'd never seen it. But my wife is the fastest diaper changer in the West. There's no way she'd ever get peed on or anything like that because it's insane how fast she can do something like that.
There was never that geyser moment that I see in the movies.
No, she was so fast at that kind of thing. She could have a business
because it happened to her.
Oh, I'm
She
sure
said
it probably
it's not going
did.
to happen again.
Yeah.
Not going to happen
You
twice.
don't do it that fast unless you've had some experience.
Blowouts are kind of gross, when a kid all of a sudden it's up to their neck somehow.
Yeah. It's like, how did you get it there?
Yeah, you can't really figure that out. But the grossest thing for me was the umbilical cord. When that thing started to, oh my God, I didn't want to be anywhere near my son at that point. I was thinking, I'll get to know him when he's one.
You're an alien or something.
Explain this to me. What do you mean exactly?
So, it's just, not to be too gross, but, when it's like, what was left is rotting off, basically. The smell was out of control. Nobody warned me about that.
From all the way across the room.
Oh, it was terrible.
And how long did it take for this to snap off so you could put it in the garbage?
Maybe a couple weeks. Right. That's what I told my wife. I'm like, I'm going to move out for a little bit. Just call me when he's outgrown this stage.
I give you guys a lot of credit. And whenever we talk about this kind of thing, a father always says, well, when it's your kid, you don't mind. I'm not buying it.
No,
I was not built for any of what you boys are discussing.
I'll tell you, I do agree with that statement. I was even going to mention, for whatever reason, when it's yours, or even my stepkids, when my stepdaughter she was young enough, she was still in diapers when I met her. It's not as gross. I don't think. It sounds disgusting, but whatever, something changes.
You ever changed a diaper, Janel Klein?
Hundreds of times.
Hundreds of times?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I did a lot of babysitting and
Were you good at it?
Yeah, I love kids.
You do?
Kids. And I'm not grossed out by that stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, you're tough, too.
Well, I don't know about tough, but...
I don't know. I just think I would hand it to whoever was in the room with me. It wouldn't even have to be a family member and say, it's your problem now. I just can't see myself dealing with someone else's filth.
Would you be more grossed out by that or by the dog poop that was outside the door?
Oh, a child, 1,000%.
Really?
Yes.
But not to get too into the details here, but especially when the kid's brand new, it doesn't really smell. There's these different, I can't remember. They explained why, not to get too detailed, but. After a while, though, once they're on real food, that's a different ball game.
That's a whole different ball game, my friend.
That's different.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Have you changed a diaper, Nick?
Absolutely not.
You have never?
No.
I think that's crazy.
What do you mean that's crazy? I'm a man who's never had children. Why would I have changed a diaper?
You have nieces and nephews?
Well, yeah, but that's my brother and sister's problem.
I guess. I don't know. You've never.
Why?
been left alone
Wapple
with
and
them?
Dana, you guys have changed a diaper?
No, never.
Wait.
I've changed one.
Does that mean you guys have never been left alone with like a baby long enough to
Never.
have to?
There was one time where we were babysitting a friend's child, and my wife at the time had to like run down to the car and get something. And I was just looking at the baby lying on the ground, saying, "Don't die, don't die, don't die."
No, I've never cared for a child. There was one afternoon where my brother called me. His son was, I don't know, it was old enough to walk around a little bit and talk. I don't know. I'd say like a first grader or something like that, right?
That's right.
And my brother had some emergency work thing, and I had to go pick up this kid and spend 2 hours with the kid. My brother just said, entertain him somehow. I'll come to your place in 2 hours and pick him up. That's the only care I've ever given to a child. And I'll tell you a funny story. So I didn't really know how to talk to little kids. You know, he's a first grader or whatever. I didn't really know. So I take him to the mall, and I figured I'll loosen him up with a joke, right? We walk into the mall, and I turned to this little kid walking next to me, and I said, now let's get one thing clear. We're here to look for ass. He was so confused, he had no idea what I was talking about.
Can you imagine having Nick as your uncle?
Well, tell you what, Janelle, my nieces and nephews are wondering what that experience is like as well.
They've only met him a couple times.
Yeah.
So, Janelle, you said you don't mind changing diapers. Local 34 Jesus wants to know if you'd babysit a 41-year-old man.
Wow.
You know, my wife used to be a PCA, and she'd have to change adult diapers and stuff like that. She's a saint.
Oh, God.
She is a saint.
Absolute saint.
I don't think I could do that.
I give every damn last one of you all the credit that I can give. Whether you're wiping a baby's bottom or a grown, I cannot even begin to imagine how I would approach that task.
Well,
good for all of you because, wow, that's incredible to me.
You know, you had to wipe a dog. You know, so
see, dogs are different. I don't get bothered by dogs.
But I mean, you're willing to do something. Like,
I am.
It's not like you're you're this callous gentleman.
No. Oh, I'm as soft as a slipper. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I had to throw a whole car seat away once.
Oh no, dude.
Blowout was that bad?
Yeah, my son. Yeah, they threw the whole. I sold the car too, actually.
Oh, get rid of the car, burn the garage.
Right, I had it detailed and clean. But once you smell that in your car, it's like you can get it detailed and clean, but as soon as you get in it, your senses just make it seem like you smell it.
It's not gone.
It never leaves.
Yeah, it was gone, but because I smelled it when it was in the raw.
Right.
I can't get every time I sat in my car, it felt like I smelt it. You know, so I'm like, you know what? I need to trade this car in, otherwise I'm never going to enjoy driving it again. And
Janelle,
I threw the whole car seat, and my wife. So she goes, what happened to the car seat? I threw it out. She goes, all you need to do. I was like, nope. I threw it out. I don't know if there's a crack and crevice that I'm going to miss, so I'm going to throw it away and go get another one.
Yeah.
It's $34.
You did the right thing. You ever have to deal with poop in the car, Janelle?
I don't remember anything about that.
Now, you have Nick, but that was your own doing.
Yes.
4 food choices.
Oh, God. And what Josh was referencing as far as having to care for a dog in that manner, when I had a corgi who was paralyzed from the waist down, when she would go potty, I was told by the veterinarian to avoid an infection, I had to clean her. So that is the one wiping experience that I have, other than, I guess, wiping my own damn behind. Okay, here's the deal. What's the grossest thing, Josh and Willi Myles, the grossest thing you ever saw one of your children put in their mouths? Did you have that scary moment? Oh, God, they're putting this or that into their mouth.
No, I watch my kids do a lot. I just let it happen.
Learn on their own.
They're going to learn. How are they going to learn? You know, I mean,
he's got a salamander in his hand or something.
I watched my son eat a handful of X-Lax.
Oh, no way.
I took him down we was down at home in Alabama. Went down to visit. I want to take him down to see his grandparents, his cousins, and stuff like that. And the next thing I see him in there, and I told him, don't be opening up people's drawers and stuff and looking. And so he opened up my mom's drawer and grabbed. She had X-Lax in there. You know how older people from down south, because it looks like candy.
Yeah.
He had a whole. He had like 4 squares.
And you just let him do it because he'll learn his lesson.
I saw him doing it. I'm like, I'm just gonna let it happen. Next thing I know, he was standing there with his eyes all big, and I said, just go in the bathroom, son. You're gonna be in there for a while. You're gonna be there for a while. Take your pants off and just sit on the toilet.
I like your style. I mean, I guess a lesson learned right there.
Absolutely.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, we're getting there. We're on our way out shortly. Grown folks now. We were talking about kids earlier, but now grown folks. What's the most disgusting thing you've ever put in your mouth? And a few of the more predictable jokes have been texted in already. And this is on purpose or not the most disgusting thing you've ever put in your mouth as a grown person. Here are some of the answers from social media. Soap.
Oh.
Now, this was not, of course, like when you were a kid and your mother might wash your mouth out with soap. This was a drunk walking around a mall. Someone was handing out soap samples. The drunk thought it was food.
Oh, no.
Oh, I could see that, yeah.
Someone actually chewed an Advil liquid gel cap, and it was obscene, they
I
say.
have always wanted to know what that tastes like.
Give it a shot.
Advil liquid gel cap.
Wow.
Okay. All right. That didn't taste good. Seagull poop. Ooh.
Oh. Did you just have your mouth open? What happened there?
Yeah, I guess the mouth was open.
I've seen that before. Happened to my grandma at a picnic.
Oh, your grandma?
That's not right.
That's awesome.
It wasn't seagull poop. It was some sort of bird poop. It just went right in my grandma's mouth.
Ew.
Right where she usually puts butterscotch and lemonade.
God knows what else. Had she had lunch yet?
Boy, I don't remember the order. I remember it was Lake Harriet, and I was in 5th grade. And I remember finding it absolutely hilarious.
You must have just gone off the rails.
We were dying.
That's incredible. You lucky bastard.
It happened to a friend of mine at Pebble Beach, and he was eating a sandwich, walking down the middle of the fairway. And just before he took a bite, a seagull dropped one right on his sandwich, and he bit right into it with the sandwich.
And you kept your mouth shut? It happened that fast?
I watched him do it.
Good for you.
And I was looking at him, just like, he's going to bite down on that. But that caddy told us, when you're walking down the fairway, hold your sandwich to your chest. Because the bird couldn't get to it, but he figured I'd just poop on it.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And he did. And rubbed it right down through the poop in his sandwich. I don't think he knew, and I told him, and he could see some residue on the other part that he missed.
Son of a bee.
It was on his lips.
How did he deal with that?
Oh, no.
It was on his lips.
Well, he threw up.
Oh, God.
He threw up.
The majestic Pebble Beach golf course, there's a guy just throwing up on the 9th fairway.
Yeah. And I told his wife, and I don't think she's kissed him since.
Oh, I would. Worst things grown folks have put in their mouths on purpose or not. Someone on a long car trip reached for a bottle thinking it was water, and they drank some windshield washing fluid.
Ooh.
Cockroach in the yap.
Yucky.
And listen how it happened. Someone rushed over to the faucet. You know how you put your mouth up to the faucet? Usually something you do as a kid, but this was a grown person. Put their mouth up to the faucet. When they pulled the trigger on the faucet, a cockroach was up there.
Hello.
And it went... See, I could contribute to this. I've told you before, this was an accident where a stink bug flew into my mouth. I did not bite into it.
I was just going to say, they smell bad, so what did it taste like?
It didn't really have a taste. It was unpleasant to have this hard insect in my mouth. That was not a pleasant feeling, Wapple. But that was actually also before I knew that they were stinky. You see what I'm saying? I hadn't experienced the stink of the stink bug yet. It bothered me, but I think I would have been more grossed out if I would have known more about the bug. I did once bite into a what are those worms up north that hang out on the trees? Army worms?
I think so.
One of those got into my bag of Doritos. I reached into the Doritos, threw it, and there was a big juicy worm in there. Yes,
Yucky.
Josh.
So I had a cat puke in my mouth once, and that was probably the most disgusting thing that's ever been in my mouth. Go ahead. I mean, you can text in if you want, but yeah, it was pretty gross.
Wow.
I had a shelf above the toilet, right? And so that one was right next to the shower, and I heard something, and apparently it was the cat winding up to barf. And as soon as I opened the shower curtain, it was perfect timing. The cat projectile vomited right into my mouth.
We're losing Janelle. We're losing her. Change the subject.
I haven't brushed my teeth since.
I had the toothbrushing incident with the dog poop.
That one.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about that one.
That's terrible. Here's someone who was sleepwalking and they ate half a bowl of potpourri thinking it was cereal. My mother used to light that garbage in the house when we were a kid.
You eat a half a bowl before you realize. You think you'd figure that out pretty darn quick.
Even dream.
Well, they were asleep, if that matters at all to you.
I think you'd figure that. That'd wake me up. I had, I ate about half a bag of fuzzy, what's that called? Beef jerky once.
That makes me nauseated.
Now, even though we were talking grown folks, quite a few listeners have texted in about gross things their children have put into their mouths. So, what do we got now? Someone walking around the amusement park with their kid. Kid was walking behind them. The parent looks back, and the kid had his tongue out on the handrail and was licking every inch of the handrail.
They're going to learn.
That's how COVID started.
That kid's never going to have another disease.
Probably not.
That's how you just get immune to everything. He's just doing it in one shot.
Here is a listener who admits that when they were a child, and this is their words, they used to eat fat carpenter ants.
Yuck.
Why?
Raw? Did they just bake them a little bit?
They said they didn't give many details, but
a little salt and pepper, a little salad dressing, maybe.
A little bit, yeah.
Here is a listener who smoked cigarettes, and they had babies. And when her babies were young, she would find cigarette butts in their diapers. So the kids were picking up her cigarette butts and eating them.
Oh no.
Oh
no. Poop out that filter.
I bet her kids could probably rake through a pack of Camels without even getting a buzz, you know what I mean? Little babies were eating cigarette butts off the friggin' sidewalk. And a lot of you parents have dealt with spit up and such from your baby. Here's a listener whose daughter spit milk into their mouth. It was spit up, milk spit up into the parent's mouth and on the beard. The old man had to shave. I bet, you just, see Willi Myles' baby car seat. This person must have assumed, I'm never going to get the smell out of this beard. I just got to shave the sumbitch off.
Yep.
Some of you have been through some things.
Yeah, I've had barf on my back and didn't realize it when you're holding the kid over your shoulder a little bit. You've got a big streak of vomit on your back, sir.
Oh, that's happened. I've never had one puke in my face. That's a joy of growing up with 9 older sisters, man. My sister said, never hold a baby up above your face.
They told you.
Oh, yeah.
Never hold a baby. She said, because they will. They'll laugh. They'll laugh, and it'll come right out. They won't give you no sign, and you have no time.
It ain't easy.
That's true. You're right. Some kids especially, it's like they go from zero to vomit everywhere. There's no warning, nothing.
No.
Their body doesn't quite get it
My stepson's like that. He very rarely gets sick, but if it's a puking thing, he'll be completely fine. All of a sudden, it just happens. No warning.
Right.
Yeah, he's wired like that. He's going to be tough at the bar.
It's a blessing and a curse, right?
He's going to be tough to hang out with at the bar.
It's a blessing and a curse because that pre-vomit feeling is so terrible.
I suppose
when
you're right.
When you know it's coming,
you're right.
It's awful.
It's a miserable
he just gets
feel.
It over with, and that's that.
I knew a couple drinkers like that when we were young. There was no warning. Like you said, Josh, 9 out of 10 of us, maybe 8 out of 10 of us, we get that horrible feeling. You start to sweat.
All
you
the
get
spit and everything.
Yeah, the saliva.
But I drank with a couple guys who will, down a beer and say, well, let's go to the next bar. Brep!
Right.
And it just happens. Well, what the hell was that? You didn't know that was
exactly.
Now I don't really feel like drinking with you anymore.
Right. You don't know how to hold your liquor. That's where that came from. You need, if you know you're going to puke, excuse yourself, go in the bathroom, get her done.
Pardon me, I'm going to go vomit.
SAWFT soft. Janelle, thank you very much for coming
Thanks,
in.
you guys.
And you too, C. Willi.
C. Willi,
absolutely,
love seeing you,
man.
Janelle, so awesome having you here.
Hey, if I can just let your fans know that I'll be at the Crooners again on the 14th of September.
Oh, great.
They've all asked me where I was going to be.
Absolutely.
I did post
it was rude of me, us not to ask.
No, that's all right. People ask, well, why are you there?
On the 14th of September.
14th of September, back at Crooners, man. I love that place. Yeah.
That's 3 days before my birthday. You can call it Nick's birthday special show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
I'll be posting about that.
Thanks, C. Willi.
I'll say Nick will make a personal appearance.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.